Now we are live. Hey everyone,
Hey, how you
watching,
doing, guys?
rewatching.
How's things going? Sorry for the break, but things have happened. You know how it is.
Yeah, and thank you guys for respecting, my privacy. I can't thank you guys enough.
Yep. A few things happened, so we're gonna do like a bit of a rundown. The Lizzo situation, Lil Tay. I think it's not Lil Tate. I think it's Lil Tay. I think you mispronounced it.
Maybe I did. Yeah,
You might need to change that. I just
which
noticed
is
that.
fine. Yeah.
I can't believe you got the person wrong we're talking about's name wrong. Holy fuck, man.
No, I
Holy
didn't.
fuck.
No, I
It's
didn't.
Lil Tay is the name.
No, it's Little Tate. Tate.
No, it's
Oh,
Lil Tay.
I put the rapper
Tay.
down. That's why.
Jeez Louise,
There's a
Insufuse.
rapper named Little Tate. Like what? Y'all need better name. Little.
Little Tay,
It's
jeez Louise, man.
too
I should have
many
noticed that.
littles.
Two middle like littles, you got that wrong. I noticed that just now. Jesus Christ, man. You need to change that when you get the chance. But anyway, Little Tay, I think our my co-host might be a little bit tired. I'm joking. But yeah, a little bit of break. How you doing, Grandma Sherry? Um,
Hey, Grandma.
yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna go with that little. I made a comment on. I'm just gonna talk about a little bit of deets for a little bit. Tony has no clue about this, so I'm just gonna say it off the
No.
bat. Okay, so my comment, basically, the reason why I've made my comment on deets is because I watched her live, and I did not like the question she posed. I felt like her question about, well, her saying about the back chats have to be discussing back chats and some sort of secret talks with people. I felt like that was discussed. I have to look at it again, and I didn't like that. I didn't like how people were insinuating that because that girl and Good Egg basically, number one, don't make their feelings known every single time, or let's say Good Egg just basically goes in the chat and just kind of
Mm.
trolls. That's their fault for the whole situation for some reason, and that they should just say F. And it's deceitful that they don't immediately say F. The glare is a little deceitful. Um, to say that, I mean, like by that I mean like, let me just go a little bit slower. I think the situation that they basically tried to move on and they didn't want to really say anything about the glare was very big of them. And they had history with the glare and they were trying to put it behind them. And people acting like, oh, if they were really not messing with the glare and they had problems with the glare, why didn't they just say F him every time? Well, the main reason is because number one, it's Queen's channel and she can be on Queen's channel. You know, Queen channel does what she does. Um, it's not that girl's channel. It's not Good Eggs channel. And Queen has an open panel, and she lets everyone up. And she basically had no issues with the glare recently. He was covering the same stuff, and people thought, yeah, you know what, we can move on. And they've always made their feelings known, and they were perfectly fine. And they had their feelings known about each other, and they were moving on. And basically, Will, or the Glare, basically decides to drink to the point where he's blacked out drunk, which is a problem, and proceeds to say, fuck her chat, tell her to unsubscribe. Proceeded to kind of blindside Queen when she's trying to show support for the Glare and for Morbid by being in the chat, by having subs come there. And basically, she goes to bed and she finds about this tirade. And the acting like somehow it's Queen's fault, that it's somehow, this is drama. No, someone comes on a chat and accuses me of basically doxing people in the past and screwing with people's lives. I'm going to reply to that in a live. And if I have an open panel, I'm going to come up and I'm going to allow people to have their opinions about that person. Acting like that was uncalled for or that was, that should have been worked out. No, the Glare made a mistake. And instead of owning his mistake and sitting up there and saying, hey, I was drunk, he doubled down and jumped on Deet's thing and says, oh, I was planning on doing this anyway. I was planning on basically telling all of Queens to unsub. Hi there, General Jenny.
Hello.
And, and so I'm sitting here and I'm watching this live with Deets. And I was a little annoyed because a lot of people were trying to make it sound like it was that girl's fault or it was Good Egg's fault, and I'm like, bro, I have trolls in the chat sometimes too that come in that annoy the shit out of me. but you don't see me like fucking start cursing them out or go on a tirade or calling people the C word or saying them to F their mothers or stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
irrational. That's just
We
completely irrational. And to act like Queen did something wrong when replying to it is not wrong. She just basically replied to it. She was basically backstabbed by this guy. And then he basically says, well, I was always planning on basically backstabbing her, but I got drunk and I just did a little bit sooner. Okay. Then I just didn't like that part where Dietz was basically stating about some sort of back chat situation, discussions, and then like I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? What are you implying? Back chat discussions? I'm a little annoyed. You know what I mean? I just did not like it. I felt like a lot of that shit was just beating up on Queen and acting like Queen had equal part and share with the issue. And then like the whole part about the dancing saying, oh, well, Queen was insinuating that he had a small penis. Well, if he had a problem with the dance, then he shouldn't have jumped on the live and laughed with everyone else while that was being played. He could have easily emailed Queen and said, hey, maybe I don't like the dancing. Maybe I don't like the situation where me being drunk and me dancing and making a fool of myself is being played on your channel. If you would have done that, she would have taken it down. But he didn't. But to insinuate that like this is kind of Queen has some sort of fault to play in this kind of thing.
Your microphone again.
I'm sorry, that Queen has some sort of fault to do with this? No, I disagree with that. I actually 100% disagree with that. And that got me a little bit annoyed. And unfortunately, I'll read you my comment. I'll read you what I wrote.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we already know where this got fucked up. Never go live drunk.
Just never go live drunk. No, and this is the Dietz' live. I didn't like, basically I'm like sitting there and I just was a little annoyed with a little bit of it. Whatever. I mean, like, Dietz and me are going to disagree on certain things. It is what it is. I'm not angry at her. I'm just a little bit annoyed. But, they're gaslighting me. They say I should take a break from the internet and stuff like that. And my feelings don't matter. I guess not.
This is the internet. Everybody's feelings matter.
Okay. So I said, this is my comment I wrote. There are a few things I will say about this live. One, I feel like people are holding it against that girl for not being petty is wrong. She was being respectful to Queen Bee's channel and didn't want to bring drama. Queen even highlighted that there was old drama with the Glare and they didn't like each other in the past. There were even times the Glare said that multiple times. Not sure where this is coming from, that no one knew that there was history between these two. The hope was that they would put their differences to the side and move on. Queen has no control over people that jump on her panel or people in the chat, on the panel or people in the chat. To blame, this is the problem.
It's okay.
The hope was that they would put their differences to the side and move on. Queen has no control over people that jump on the panel or the people in the chat. To blame Queen for those people in the chat is uncalled for. If the Glare can't handle people in the chat and acts like this, then that's on him, not on Queen. Queen only responded to a stream that basically attacked her and her subs and her character on the platform. He basically accused her of doxing people and doing bad things with Critical K. When it comes to Good Egg and that girl, they have made their positions very clear on their feelings. They simply didn't want to keep bringing it up on every stream. When it came to the super chat, the Glare came up and actually liked the dancing. If he was so upset about it, he could have easily emailed Queen or even said it on his live. This idea now that is the same thing as the Glare going on a 2-hour rant about Queen Bee and her subs and timing people out because he was having fun and wants to mess with them is uncalled for. I also like to know what you mean by back chat and now that relates and how that relates to the Glare drinking too much to the point he has no memory and saying things he was feeling and telling everyone to F off, ? To me, Queen was showing support for the Glare and his friend Morbid by being in the chat and showing up for them. Instead, all she got was accused of being a terrible person in the past, her subs being attacked, and also being known, and also people I've known for a year being disrespected. I'm also tired of people just simply calling everything drama. If someone comes on panel and says I'm a doxer and I did messed up things in the past, I have a right to defend my character. That's not drama, so Queen has a right to do a live about it. about it and discuss things. It is also an open panel, and everyone has different opinions with the glare, and has the right to express how they feel about him during the subject of the live. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit annoyed from this live, and if I knew it was going on, I would have left the live from Queen to come over. I feel like acting like Queen messed up doing her live, insinuating their back chats are Queen's fault, and acting like just because Good A, Queen, Cappy, and that girl don't say F glare every day makes them fake is a bunch of BS. As a person that subbed to Queen for a while, I can tell you that they used to make fun of the glare and on the daily and vice versa. If you didn't know there was a bit of past history with them, that's on you, not them. Now, does that sound
It doesn't sound unreasonable. It doesn't sound bad. You put everything
Oh, okay.
out there.
Okay, so what does she say? One of them says someone might be critical of your queen. This is extremely unhinged. Like break beats him, touch some grass, dude. This isn't that serious. And then Dietz writes to me. She said, "If that's what you took away from this, then I'm sorry you perceive things in this matter. It's extremely sad that you beat him or taking it that matter when I've always respected you and your opinions. So it's my fault. It's my fault that I feel this way. That it's my fault that I made this statement. What did I state that was wrong? Why did you bring up back chats? Why that makes no sense to me."
And if it's not, and also that one comment, I don't know who made the comment. I know it wasn't Dietz, but
Dietz made that one comment.
No. I'm saying the one I'm talking about. I'm about to say about the one before that.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal. Basically, if it's not a big deal, why did Dietz go live?
Yeah,
about it. Clearly,
and no
this
offense,
is the internet. If people have a right for an opinion.
And no offense, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I'm going to go in there. I'm going to defend Queen because she's someone I'm very friendly with. And I just did not like that, how she was basically not giving you have the right. Yeah, you have a right to your opinions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's opinion. Apparently I'm going to lose Dietz's
friend.
I'm going to lose Dietz's respect because my opinion on that.
I thought Dietz and her were friends. Wouldn't she know Queen a little bit better?
Yeah, I'm gonna lose. You know what I mean? I'm just a little annoyed. I'm listen, I don't like that whole. She got mad about the back chat. She didn't explain what she meant by that, and that's that's.
But it's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. Yeah, no. I don't.
The other person said it's no big deal. Dietz was basically saying that she what's her exact words so we don't misquote her.
Yeah.
Dietz, if that's what you took away from this, then I'm sorry you perceive things in this matter. It's extremely sad that you, Tim, are taking it to that manner when I have always respected you and your opinions.
Wait, what?
What did I say was wrong? What did I say was wrong about your live?
I don't think you said anything wrong in your comment. You were expressing your opinion on the matter. And if she presented it in such a way for you to react that way, that's not a you problem. That's a her problem. That's just my opinion.
So anyway, Dietz, that's my opinion on that. I just want to say that that's why I just did not like that situation. I really just did not like that situation with that live. I think I was the one. I watched the live. I was actually on the live. I was on the panel in the beginning. I was kind of caught off guard with Wendy. Because I thought we were talking about Dolly, and then suddenly Wendy from the Howard Stern comes on, and I'm like, deer in headlights, but, it is what it is. And, yeah.
This is why I don't keep up with it. No, but, yeah, the glare should never go live drunk.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he's got, alcoholism problems or something like that, because he keeps on drinking until he's blackout drunk. That's not good, bro. I'm telling you, from someone that has family, that has addiction to it, that's not good to drink until you're blackout drunk. So that's what I took away from Dietz's live personally today. I'm not mad. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm a little why did you put that out there with the back chats? I mean, Queen's getting a lot of shit, and I just don't like that. I just don't like the fact that that's being put out there.
But also, real quick, for anybody who's listening, or even if Dietz, if you're listening, I just want it to be known, I have known Tim for a very long time. don't think that he's all ride or die, because he'll even tell me when I fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So if Queen ever fucks up, I know Tim is that type of friend to be like, Queen, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
don't
get
know.
what I'm saying? Like,
I
that's
just
what real
don't.
friends are.
Yeah, and I just don't like the fact that I sat there on that live and I felt like they were trying to place equal blame on both sides, and I'm like, where did Queen screw up? She was in the chat. She did a super chat with him dancing, and that somehow proceeds to like her doing equal part to the glare. The glare was in a chat for 3 hours, timing people out. Told one lady to go fuck her mother. Called
Ew.
people cunts. Proceeded to be rude to the chat, and instead of just going the next day and saying, "Hey guys, I fucking drank and I was fucking out of my mind, drunk, and I fucked up," he proceeds to say, "Well, I'm tired of drama, and I don't really want to be involved in the drama, and I don't really care. I wanted to get rid of Queen subs in the beginning." Okay,
So,
if
so
you,
he doesn't want drama. He doesn't like drama, but he goes online and makes drama.
yeah, like, come on, you jump on
I,
Morbid, you create drama, you jump and cover the same subjects we talk about all the time.
yeah.
You are Krama, you do Krama all the time, and I just got very annoyed with that live. I just, you know what I mean? And people
Mhm.
say like, I'm the type of person that will defend. If I have a belief in something, I'll defend it against the majority. I don't give a
Mhm.
fuck about subs. I don't give a fuck about anything like that. I don't care. But if I feel like someone has wronged someone I'm friendly with, I'll go to war with the whole fucking internet.
Oh
I've
yes,
done that.
definitely.
I've done that in the past.
Yes, yes,
I've done that for Sleuth Mom, where every single fucking true crime channel was friendly with Jim Terry, had him on. I went to war literally by myself
Mm-hmm.
and with two other people against multiple fucking live streams. I've gone to war. And if I feel like you're wronging a friend of mine, and I feel like this my friend who I like is being wronged by people, I'll go to the war with the internet. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I really don't, because I believe what I believe, and and if I lose subs, I don't give a fuck about subs. If I just don't care. What I'm saying by I don't give a fuck about subs, I don't care about gaining subs and doing like the
You
popularity
guys
thing.
aren't a number to us, is what we're
Yeah,
saying. We don't see you guys as a number. Hey, Jasmine, we actually see you as people. You know what I mean? Most creators out there see their subs as a number. You're not a number to us. You are people.
yeah. Well, you know what, Jasmina? If I was friends with the glare, I would have told him, don't go on drunk on the live stream because it's
Oh
not good.
yeah,
It's
he
like I
needs
wouldn't do that with
friends.
my family members. I wouldn't 100%. If any of my family members were doing that, I would have called them up and I would have told them to stop doing that on the internet. But that's just me. I would not do that. I
Mm.
would not want my family members. I would not want people to humiliate themselves or say some terrible things online like that.
You just can't like. Does he have one good friend in his life to
It's not a good
put him in
friend
his
if
place?
your friend is doesn't like. If you were drunk like that, I would and I
Oh
had the
yeah.
power. I would have kicked you off that panel as soon as you started talking, and I would have
Oh no,
deleted the
yeah.
live. I
No,
would
I
have
know
immediately.
you. I know
And
you. That's the thing. I know you. And I know
yeah,
not a lot of people outside
so
of YouTube know. I know you. And if I was to fuck up, he would tell me I fucked up. And if Queen was to fuck up, I know you would be the one.
yeah, I just didn't. And I'm just gonna defend Queen's position. She did nothing
Yeah.
wrong. She did nothing to warrant that shit. And
No, she
um,
didn't. She didn't.
and all she did was basically just try to be friendly with him so the subs wouldn't feel uncomfortable. She was trying to move on with her past,
Mm-hmm.
but she has no control over Good Egg and how she feels. She has no control over how other people in the chat feels. She's
Mm-hmm.
always giving people second chances, third chances all the time. And I feel like every time she gives someone a second chance, she gets fucked over constantly. And it gets to the point, and then she gets blamed for giving people second chances. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Don't give someone a
Yeah.
second chance, you get shit on. Do give someone a second chance, you get shit on when they backstab you. It's just outrageous. But, that's my feelings on it.
No, you're definitely entitled to your feelings. You're much closer to her than me,
I
obviously.
get it. I'm not. What did I
So
state as a fact, Groundish? I'm not sure. Did I say something with a
maybe it
with
was
the kick?
somebody in the chat. Oh, I think it's what Jasmina saying. Um,
Yeah, if you have the part of the stream, I'll look at it. But yeah, that might not be true. Yeah, just me. We have to have the receipts for that. But maybe I read off that. My apologies about that. Um,
We're reading comments right now. If you ever hear us quiet, we're reading comments.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I just don't
Oh, okay,
agree.
I get it, Grandma. Okay, Grandma was just letting us know, and
Okay, cool.
everybody in the chat, just
Yeah, I get like a little, you can tell I'm a little annoyed
oh yeah,
because Queen has been very friendly to me, and for friends, I usually will,
hmm
get a little bit. It's not fake with me. It's not like
no,
I'm
it's
being
not.
friends with her for subs or anything like that. I'm not like that. I
No,
don't. I'm friendly with her, and I just don't like that shit. And I felt like it was wrong what happened today on Deets a little bit. Um, I wish Deets would just have come on to the panel yesterday with Queen Bee and discussed it because I watched the live. I watched the last 2 hours. I watched the whole last 2 hours of that live that was cut. Believe me, it was pretty bad. It was
oh,
it was it was
oh
pretty bad. I've seen it.
real quick. Oh, I get what Jasmine. Okay, I get what Jasmine is
Oh,
saying.
okay.
It's how you feel. I know, but you never know when it's a sensitive subject like this. Though I think I hate doing this, but every time when you have to give an opinion or how you feel, you have to state it
No,
as
I'm
I
not
feel
like
this way and I have this opinion. And I hate doing that all the time because I feel like it sucks up everything.
yeah,
But sometimes when it's like within the community like this, you kind of have to because if not,
yeah,
people take one little thing you say and they fucking run with it.
yeah. I don't care. Yeah, and I just wanted to state that my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not like gonna be forever. Like I'm just annoyed with the live, but I'm cool with Deets. She's cool. I think she does great lives. But today I was just like a little annoyed that like the Glare got his chance to speak. I feel like that girl kind of had like was doing like a 3-on-1 honor, and that girl's going through a lot, and you know what I mean. I just I don't know. I
No,
didn't like.
it's your YouTube family, man. You
Yeah,
get
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
I might agree with that girl all the time, but I did not like that shit at all. But anyway, um, let's move on to Lizzo. All right, let's move
Okay,
on.
okay. I'm gonna have to see
So,
those videos. Real quick before we get to Lizzo. Are those drunk videos still on his?
Morbid has this first 6 hours, but he cut the last 2 hours because what
Six
happened was,
hours.
yeah, there was 8 hours. What happened was the last 2 hours got cut. He claims because of a porn bomb. Basically, and then during the live, he accused Damn DeFore and another YouTuber of being the porn bombers and berated these two old ladies and cursed them out and banned them, and only to realize the next day that it wasn't them. So he falsely accused Damn DeFore and another person of being porn bombers during the last 2 hours of the stream. Um, I
God.
think I think it was Space Monster was the other YouTuber. I'm not sure. And all she did was basically jump up and just kind of like go at Will. Obviously, they're not friends. I get it. It's
It seems like the remember back in the day. When I say back in the day, I mean about probably 6 or 7 years ago. That Facebook used to go. People would used to go live and do roast fest, and they would just get drunk and stupid. They'll talk shit about each other, and it would always be drama. That's what it sounds like. Let's not turn back time.
yeah.
Let's not go.
I feel I have one thing though. I find it very interesting that he removes 2 hours and why he doesn't just remove the porn bomb parts of it. And my feeling is to protect his friend because his friend said some crazy fucking things on that live and was doing some crazy fucking things on that live, which I watched. And I didn't get to, I mean, I didn't stay up for it. I saw it the next day
Well,
because it was
6 hours.
before.
It was 8 hours. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
only saw the first hour and 20 minutes or something like that, or like that. It was like because when Wendy came up, very nice person, but I originally came to that stream because I thought we were talking about Dolly, and then when
Yeah.
Wendy the R, which is I don't like saying the word,
You don't have to
uh,
say the word. Don't say the word.
but she was a Howard Stern guest. I was kind of like, okay, I stayed for a little bit, and I just kind of skedaddled away um, because it's not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. But yeah, that's my situation.
People like to use that. I don't under. I just don't understand people. This is why I live like a hermit in a cave somewhere in Boston, and I just live in a cave with me and my two
No, I
cats.
haven't seen the Glare go alive recently. No, I did not. It is what it is. I only watched Dietz's live, and I didn't get a chance to watch because I would have to go live here. Obviously, I'll probably have to watch it there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe he'll apologize. Maybe he'll sit there and say something. Who knows? But we'll see. I don't give a
Own
fuck.
it. That's all you have
Yeah,
to do.
I'm just defending the whole Dietz thing. I think I
Queen
think
thing.
yeah, with the Dietz live with Queen and
Yeah.
everything. That's just my opinion. But anyway, let's go into Lizzo. Sorry
Okay.
about that little
No,
tidbit of
it
you
had to
know.
be said. It had to be said. You had to get it off your chest, and that's why we have the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about three different subjects, small subjects. And we're first going to be talking about Lizzo. Like, what the fuck is going on there? B has an article right now that's up. It's
Yeah.
already up. It's already up. So it blew up on TikTok before it blew up anywhere else, which was kind of weird, but really not. But there's lawsuits against Lizzo and her choreographer. And it's the lot when you read the lawsuits, you guys are probably aware, if not you will be. When you read the lawsuits and if you understand who Lizzo is very body positive. She's a big black girl doing what she has to do. She has a talent. She does have a talent. She does, which makes it even more sad if these allegations are true. And she doesn't care what size you are. She wants you to be beautiful. She wants you to stand out. You know, it's just very, very positive. When you think of Lizzo, you think positivity. But we get to the lawsuit, and this is when you take over with the article.
Yeah, it's like a 44-page complaint. To save you from the complaint, we're going to read the article. But there's some allegations in the complaint that are pretty big.
Very not Lizzo, but
very not Lizzo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the article from Los Angeles Times, and basically, lawyers representing the three Lizzo's former dancers said they've been reviewing new complaints since she was accused of sexual harassment, creating a hostile work environment, and weight shaming in a lawsuit filed last week. Just reading that part, weight shaming, you would think it would be like the opposite, but apparently it was about
That's what I thought.
About gaining weight. So the woman this is Lizzo for body positivity was apparently in their accusation alleges, the three dancers alleged that they were shamed for gaining weight or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Ron Zambrano said his firm, which focus on employment law, is vetting new allegations from at least 6 people who said that they toured with Lizzo, including other dancers and some who said they worked on her Amazon Studio reality show. Quote, Lizzo, watch out for the big girls. Now, what is that? Basically that was like a dance tryout or something like that, to be a backup dancer or something like that?
Yeah, it was a dance tryout. Yeah, it's basically a reality show and be like, top dancer type deal, and
Okay.
it's big opportunities.
Yeah. The allegations, he said, are of a quote, sexually charged environment, end quote, failure to pay employees. Zambrano said that in reviewing the claim, he determined that some are potentially actionable, but that others aren't. Quote, some of the claims we are reviewing may be actionable, but it is too soon to say, he said on Tuesday evening. A representative for Lizzo declined to comment Tuesday. Allegation former Lizzo dancers were weight shamed, pressured at a strip club, lawsuit says. Lizzo says claims are unbelievable, outrageous. Obviously, concerned Lizzo was. So we'll go on. The suit first reported by NBC News and filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court on behalf of Adriana Davis, Noel Rodriguez, and Crystal Williams prompted an outpouring of disappointment among fans and a rebuke from Lizzo, who called the allegations, quote, sensationalized stories, end quote, that they're, quote, false, and end quote, unbelievable. The suit alleges conduct that another lawyer representing the plaintiff, Naima Ramani, described as, quote, outrageous, end quote. Lizzo, who known for promoting body positivity and celebrating her physique, allegedly pressured a dancer to touch a nude performer at a strip club, called attention to dancer's weight, fired her in front of other performers after she recorded a meeting in an effort to help manage health conditions, according to the suit. It accuses Lizzo of calling out a dancer's weight after appearance at the South by Southwest Music Festival. In a meeting with all dancers this year, Lizzo allegedly said it was, quote, normal, end quote, for them to get, quote, fired when they get fat, end quote, Sobrano said this week. That's a pretty big allegation so far. That's kind of crazy.
Considering most people know Lizzo as body positivity. That's the thing. That's the shocker there. I mean, the stripper, the sex allegations, with the stripper and stuff, and touching the things that were quote unquote inside the stripper. That was,
there was some
too.
pretty crazy shit in the complaint, the 44-page complaint. I'll probably recommend a lawyer to go through it because, with complaints, I could read you the complaint, the 44 pages, read you. But I think I'll probably be better served if you watch like the actual lawyer go through it and discuss it. Probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of lawyer reactions out there of this.
If you want the complaint, I can talk. Just tell me in the chat if you guys want the complaint. I can drop it in there if you want to read it yourselves. Yes, I was shocked, and I'm wondering what's the truth. Well, I mean, there's both sides and then the truth. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's what they say. It's her word or his word, but in the middle, it's the truth. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The weight allegation is part of a disability discrimination claim in the lawsuit. Davis says she has an eating disorder. William Davis were fired in April and May, respectively. Rodriguez resigned in May. The suit also accuses Lizzo dance captain Charlene Quigley, is that right? Of proselytizing, can't speak, I'm going to get Google. See, this is the problem. Yeah, I can't focus.
You got to use the Google pronouncer, yeah.
Yeah, I got to use the Google pronouncer, proselytizing.
I use that more than I like to admit.
I think it's proselytizing, but, let me just say. Proselytize, yeah, I couldn't say it for some reason. But it's just an attempt to convert people. Sorry, yeah. I couldn't say it. Proselytizing. To other performers and derating those who had premarital sex while sharing lewd sexual fantasies, stimulating oral sex, and publicly discussing Davis' virginity.
Yeah.
Quigley and her representatives didn't immediately respond to a request for comment Tuesday. So that's an interesting. Let me see. Let me actually pull up something. Let me just pull up the.
Gloria, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I think Gloria's right. It's probably going to come down to fired for wrongful termination.
Yeah, let me see what was interesting. I think it was 50.
I think the whole shock about this isn't what was done. I mean, that's a shock. I'm not going to ever take that away from these women who are pressing, a lawsuit. I think the shock is that it's Lizzo.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking, but some of the allegations are kind of crazy. So let me see. I think it was 50 that was pretty interesting to me. 50, the complaint. It's like page 19 of the 44-page complaint. Miss Davis stated that she was dealing with personal issues, but did not, nor would she ever, let it affect her work. In fact, not only had Miss Davis performance as a dancer not slipped, but Miss Davis had also become a better dancer than she was when she was hired. Lizzo and Miss Scott were not satisfied with Miss Davis' answer and continued to press. Just as she was at the Benabar, Lizzo was relentless until Miss Davis bent to her demands. Although Lizzo and Miss Scott never explicitly stated these questions occupied by Lizzo's statements made after the Southwest. Let me read it before. I think there was like a little bit more. Let me see. There was like a particular part. Let me just go to the stripper part. That's the one I was looking for.
That's the most that's the most what the fuck do they do at strip clubs? Because strip clubs around here don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Not like I'm an avid person that goes to strip clubs every weekend or something.
I got you, man. Okay, let me see. I
mean, that's true too, Jenny. That's true too. It's just, I don't know. For me, it was a shock because it's fucking Lizzo. You don't expect it. But like I was telling, Tim earlier, we cannot put, people like that on pedestals anymore because.
Okay, so 35 says, and this is page 13. While at the Banana banana bar. I'm going to say banana bar, but I'm probably mispronouncing
Banana
it.
bar.
Banana bar, but it's probably something else. Things quickly got out of hand. Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from the performers' vaginas, and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas. Lizzo then turned her attention to Miss Davis and began pressuring Miss Davis to touch the breast of one of the nude women performing at the club. Lizzo began leading a chant, goading Miss Davis. Miss Davis said 3 times, loud enough for all to hear, quote, "I'm good," end quote, expressing her desire not to touch the performer. The chant grew louder and more strident. I think we're going to do the Google thing, just make sure I'm not an idiot. Strident. Yep, I got it right. Cool. Thank you. The chant grew louder and more strident, demanding a visibly uncomfortable Miss Davis to engaging with the performer. Miss Davis reiterated her discomfort, stating, quote, "I'd rather not because I'm cool here in the corner," end quote. Finally, the chorus became overwhelming and mortified Miss Davis acquiesced in the attempt to bring an end to the chants. After 36, after Miss Davis briefly touched the performer's breast, the group burst into laughter. Miss Davis abashedly laughed along, trying to hide how uncomfortable the interaction made her. Her efforts to conceal her discomfort were immediately unsuccessful as a separate occasion, BT management in attendance, as well as Lizzo's security team, asked Miss Davis if she was okay. Miss Davis replied, quote, "kind of," end quote, to one request and no, and to another. In additional pressuring and unwilling Miss Davis interacting with the new performer, plaintiff and all the attendants were unable to avoid witnessing Lizzo's incredible public display of sexual affection with her boyfriend. At one point, the couple exuberantly took Shantae, and 2 members of the band, which performed with Lizzo's tour, on a back room before return sometimes later. Upon her return to the main club, Lizzo began pressuring members of the security team to participate in a night's debauchery. Lizzo badgered the security guard to get on the club stage until he submitted to her demands. When he got on the stage, his pants were pulled down, exposing his buttocks. Lizzo then began yelling, quote, "take it off," while the club performers hit the security guard with whips. Plaintiffs were aghast with how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees, those around her, especially in the presence of many people whom she employed.
That's a
So
lot.
that's just
That's a lot.
that's just 36. Actually, wait, that's actually 35 to 36, and there are about a good 100. I think. Let me just looks like this is a 44 page, and that was only page 13.
Yeah.
So there was a significant number.
She had. This is no excuse when I say this. This is no excuse when I say this, but how fucked up are you at that club to be doing that?
Yeah, there's a lot of allegations in this complaint. Here's the complaint, because I always like to share the complaint. People can read it themselves. It's lengthy. There's YouTube channels about it. It's pretty fucking crazy. There's also the fact that basically there was like kind of religious harassments, like if you weren't Christian type of deal was a problem, you know?
Yeah, there was another thing. And the thing is, though, it was the same woman who is Christian. She was pushing her Christianity on people, which sometimes happens. You know, there's overly religious people. But it was also the same woman who was also shaming, along with Lizzo, the woman that was a virgin. One of the dancers that was a virgin. Which makes no sense. That's like the Holy Grail for you Christians.
So let's play there's an interview with the 3 dancers. We'll play that a little bit. But okay. I put the complaint there. I'm not going to read I don't like reading the whole complaint because I feel like
that lawyers right there takes you to it.
Yeah, the lawyers, you can read it yourself. The lawyer there's lawyer channels. I'm sure I can recommend you a lawyer channel that explains it well. But, I'm not a lawyer.
Legal's probably going through the pages now.
Yeah, so there's better sources than me. I'm not afraid to admit that. So here's the 3 people that are making the accusations and the allegations, and this is their interview. So we'll play it a little bit, 6 minutes and 55 seconds. We'll start now. And we'll stop every minute and a half because obviously fair use, and it is what it is.
Years, we have seen kind of the treatment of dancers. Some might even say the mistreatment of dancers depicted in media. But I'm curious, working with Lizzo, was there a specific moment or incident where you felt like this was crossing the line and it's actually more of a toxic working environment?
Many instances. I can't pinpoint one. I can probably count at least 10 just right off the bat. I mean, just inviting us to sexually explicit things a lot of times without our knowledge of knowing that there was going to be nudity there. You know, telling us that we need to be a family and, invite us to be sister-like, have a sisterhood, but then turn around and never give us the benefit of the doubt and believe the microaggressions being put forth towards her by management about us. Just having these really intense meetings about how we're not being dancing good enough, and we're all kinds of allegations that we work really hard, so we know are not true.
Those meetings that you're talking about, did it feel like to you like this is not like the MO of the industry? This is not an industry standard. It felt different.
Well, I personally and Crystal are very new to the industry. Noelle has been in the industry for a while, but this is me and Crystal's first job. So for a long time, in my time in the camp, I just chalked this up to, this is probably just industry standard, or like, even if it's not, it can't be that bad. The industry is crazy. I made a lot of excuses for Lizzo and the management team until enough was enough when I finally was out of it.
Right. Crystal, what was that breaking point for you?
Yeah, the other dance, like basically in the complaint, let me see. I gotta pull it up in the big caption. Yeah, one of the people, the employees, basically were pushing her Christian ideas, and Lizzo was basically, was doing all the sexual stuff.
Yeah, which is something you don't do with coworkers, even if you are Lizzo. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The breaking point for me was for there to be blatant lies that were being spread about us and what we were doing or how we were conducting ourselves. And then after, communicating our sides of the story, or at least attempting to, it felt like we were, retaliated against. It felt like it was disregarded. It felt like it was ignored. It felt like it was overlooked. It's just to make matters worse, for it to be with this particular artist who stands, for the things that she stands for and the messages that she preaches, you would never in a million years think that would be something that you have to deal with and that you have to go through.
And Noelle, you
yeah, I remember at one point they had to didn't they have to dance for a trial for so much, I think it was 40 hours until one of the dancers peed themselves?
Defecated.
Well, that's what urinated, but either or.
No, number 2.
Number 2. I thought it was pee themselves. Let me just Google.
No, there was half say it was defecate. The other half say, most people say she had to use the bathroom. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, they were dancing for so much, she did make an accident on stage.
Let's see.
That's overworking. That's too much.
Let me see. Okay, wait a second. I think it was 45. Okay, so 45 says, and that's page 17, on or about April 20, 2023, the dance cast was scheduled for 8-hour rehearsal. Near the end of the rehearsal, Lizzo arrived and called the dance cast together for a meeting to address the rumors about professionalism. During the meeting, Lizzo also stated that the dancers were not performing up to par and repeatedly accused the dancers of drinking alcohol before shows, even though the dance cast had never partaken in the practice. Lizzo then stated that all the dancers would be required to re-audition for their spots, and if Lizzo was dissatisfied with their performance, at the end of the day, the dancers would be fired and sent home. What follows was an excruciating re-audition in which the dancers repeatedly ran through the entire 90-minute show. What was supposed to be an 8-hour rehearsal was extended to almost 12 hours. The re-audition was brutal as the dancers were not allowed to break. During the run-through of the show, Miss Davis felt she needed to excuse herself to use the restroom. However, she was afraid that if she left the stage at any point during the audition, she would be fired. Miss Davis was pressed on as long as she could until she eventually lost control of her bladder. Still fearing the repercussions of exiting the stage during the run, though, Miss Davis remained on stage dancing in soiled clothes while there was a brief segment of the show where the dance cast was not part of the on-stage performance. Were allowed to show where the dance cast was not part of the on-stage performance and were allowed to a short break. Miss Davis was utterly embarrassed and hurried backstage to change into clean clothes. Unfortunately, the only clothing available in Miss Davis was a see-through garment provided by the wardrobe department, making her feel exposed and even more embarrassed. Miss Davis was required to finish the rehearsal dance in front of the male crew members who were known to sexualize the dancers under their less revealing scenarios. While wearing completely transparent shorts, no undergarments, after rehearsal was finally over, nothing was said to the dancers, but they were left with the impression that they were to show up the next day. That's right. That's the event, and that was 45 to 47 on page 17 of the complaint.
And that's the thing. That's really what's crazy about this. Because when I looked at Lizzo, and I've liked her for a very long time. I like her music. Not a die-hard fan by all means, but it's body positivity, which is what we need. We need more body positivity. Standing up for women, especially women who, Black women who need good representation. Like this, it's just all the accusations. It's just like when you read it and you don't say Lizzo's name, the first thing that comes to mind isn't Lizzo.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of her brand.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Actually, you resigned.
I did.
You resigned. So what led to that decision?
Me personally, I've been dancing professionally for about 7 years now, so I have past experience. I've worked with a lot of these people that Lizzo looks up to herself, like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, and so on. So I know what is right and what is wrong in the work setting and the norms for this industry. And, at first, small things would happen, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a miscommunication between her and her management. I'm trying to always give the benefit of the doubt at the beginning.
It's a personality thing.
Yeah, maybe she just has to warm up to us. And I had even questioned former dancers that are no longer a part of the camp. Like, is it usually like this? She's like, no, just give it some time. But over time, it was a slow, downward spiral of, finally getting to the point of, for me, the biggest point that was the turning point in all of this was when we asked for our retainer, which is like a holding fee. That is a standard norm, and the rest of the talent on the tour was already receiving. We were like, hey, it's a norm that dancers can ask and should receive, especially if everyone else is receiving. So that was the turning point, and I think the moment in which tensions started rising between management, Lizzo, and the dancers.
But there's also Lizzo in this too, who's probably feeling the same way. We saw in our statement today that it's inflicting some pain on her as well.
Okay, so these last few, and this is from it looks like from Instagram. These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. I usually choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not addressed. To not be addressed.
Sure, yeah.
These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. As an artist, I have always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performance seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as my important part of my team. I'm not here to be looked at as a victim, but also know that I am not the villain that people and the media have portrayed me to be these last few days. I am very open with my sexuality and expressing myself, but I cannot accept it or allow people to use that openness to make me out to be something I am not. There is nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. I know what I feel like to be body shamed on a daily basis, and I would absolutely never criticize, terminate an employee because of their weight. What's your opinion on that statement? What do you take away from it?
This statement is very Lizzo. Does that make sense? Like when I say
You
that,
gotta define Lizzo to the audience because some people don't even know who Lizzo is.
Okay, for people who don't know who Lizzo is, this is her. This is who she is. Like she is very body positive. She said everything right. And she keeps in like she's humbled in a way. If you read it, she's humbled in a way, and she's just appalled. Like this is her persona. I don't want to say persona, no, but that's what she presents to the world. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if these are true allegations, then Lizzo is just a character to us.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that says it all. She could be just a character. I mean, I kind of like. I'm trying to read between the lines here. Like the first part is like basically the statements of facts, basically stating, "Oh, I'm kind of, you
I'm
know,
shocked.
yeah." This is like she basically states her feelings about it. She's kind of denying the allegations. Then she's basically kind of excusing, saying, "Well, I work hard. We all work hard, but I never fired anyone
Hmm.
for no reason, and I'm not a victim."
She
But
definitely had a couple lawyers prove this.
so, but like what I take from it, it's like a generic lawyer-written document. Um, Probably a lot of the allegations are probably tough to basically prove, but I would say like the strip club, probably something very easier, a lot easier to prove because there's a lot of witnesses, and also the fact is that probably going to be receipts that go there, you know. So, I mean, all you need to do is just prove like a preponderance of the evidence. So,
I wonder. Let me mute my phone because there was some rumors going around Lizzo that she stopped posted on TikTok. Because what people don't know is that Lizzo um, started on TikTok and then just got really big and made one hit after another
yeah.
after another. So basically, her roaming ground is TikTok. And let me see. No, she really hasn't stopped posting. What? Well, no. Sorry, she has. Her last post was before this came out on the 1st. Because this is like 2-week old news.
I don't think the video cams will be there because they usually delete that shit probably every 30 days or something like that. I don't think they're going to keep them for like a while.
Oh no. They have a 30, 60, or 90-day lifespan. And
But even then, I wouldn't think there'd be like actual video watching strip dancing and all that stuff. That'd be kind of crazy.
What strip club does?
Yeah, I don't think a strip club.
They weren't in America. I know that they weren't in.
This is not the like Eyes Wide Shut strip club. So I mean, like,
Yeah, that's a crazy
Well,
strip club.
was there ever an opportunity for you guys to rectify this in a different way that didn't involve lawyers?
Can, for one, speak for myself that even before all of this transpired, while we were actively working with her, the collective dance cast made multiple attempts to speak with not only her management team but also her, just to make her privy of all the things that we were going through and experiencing. It never happened.
Noel, you alleged that Lizzo aggressively confronted you for resigning. Can you kind of detail that experience?
Yeah, so basically it was our last meeting. We were under the impression that it was a fitting. We show up shortly after, we're then met by security and her management team, and they're like, this is actually not a fitting, this is a meeting with Lizzo, an ambush meeting. And then we're told to hand over our phones, like we need to confiscate your phones. Security takes them, and then she therefore comes in to later on fire Ari, and then just
In front of y'all.
in front of everyone. Her management was there, security, herself, and the rest of the dance members were also there. So within that, I had planned on resigning a bit earlier. I had been in talks with my agent about, I'm going to do this professionally, give my 2 weeks, because up until then it was an accumulation of things. Just seeing how she had first handled the situation with Ari and how she let her go previously with the way that they let Crystal go, I was like, I can't stand for this anymore, and I had to say something. So in coming forward and saying that, she then got physical. She basically raised up her fists. She was like balling her knuckles, and she's like, you're so effing lucky, alluding to you're lucky I'm not going to hit you. Enough to where one of the dancers, finally got up and had to pull her back, because at that moment we were like, oh, she's actually going to hit me, and physically had to pull her back.
Wait,
while then
pause
she's yelling
it.
all these different names.
She's talking about Lizzo, not
Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay, you can press play. Yeah, sorry.
And things, and it was scary, and
I
it was
bet.
shocking.
Ariana, what do you hope to accomplish through this lawsuit?
I just really, at this point, I don't need like an apology or even understanding. I just need change. And I need dancers and other people in the industry and just people in general that are being taken advantage of, that you have a voice.
I think you just have to know your rights. I've learned so many things about my rights as a dancer, and what is deserved, and what is the norm of being on set, and how I should be treated by these artists and teams. So I I think anybody that pursues this industry just needs a lot of tough skin, and they need to understand that, you know, as much as it may seem really glamorous from the outside, sometimes it's not as glamorous as it seems, you know. So just to be realistic with yourself and kind of have those check-in moments to say, you know, am I mentally okay to take this on, because it is a lot to take on.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some allegations against Lizzo, and I hate how you doing that, Tony. Boston. Yeah, I said my statement before. You can watch Dietz's live, and you can make your opinion about that. I have my opinion on that live, and I stated my opinion how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong with my feelings. Maybe I got things wrong. We'll see. Maybe she'll clarify things. It is what it is.
It's at
But
the
anyway.
moment. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I have my feelings on that live, and I have a right to my feelings on that situation. So it is what it is. But anyway,
But yeah, that's basically the Lizzo stuff from now. It's an active, ongoing lawsuit. There's probably going to be updates as we go, and since she is a public figure, I know she's kind of quiet on TikTok, but I'm pretty sure, you know, we'll know more about it. I don't think it's going to be a televised case. It's not going to be like a Johnny Depp thing. But we'll know more about it, and if these allegations are true, I have to say that, you know, if these
yeah,
allegations
it's
are
all
true,
allegations.
I
at this
hope
point.
that these women get justice, because I'm sorry, I don't want to. There's a part of me that doesn't want to believe
All right, man.
Lizzo did this.
So next part is Lil Tay.
You.
Yeah, next part is Lil Tay. Now, if you don't know, I mean, maybe you can explain Lil Tay a little bit.
Well, Lil Tay has been around since she was a lot. Yeah, I think she's 14 now, going on.
This
15.
is Lil Tay right here. This is Lil Tay. Right.
That's Lil Tay, and a mysterious post came up on her Instagram. Now, mind you, she's a minor.
Well, wait. You might need to explain a little bit more who Lil Tay is before.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Well, you're stating what's happening now, but maybe like a backstory, like basically what did Lil Tay get
That's what I was
famous?
doing.
Okay.
I was just saying, her being young, her parents have control over social media. So everything that she's posted, it was always, you know, I have all this money, I have all this. She was very, for her age, she seemed like a spoiled brat. Always saying, I have money for this, I always have money for that. You know, she liked to press buttons. It's an act, mind you, but sometimes I wonder.
Yeah. She did this like 9 years old, this act, a couple of years ago.
But her brother was also helping her record the videos as well. And it was kind of their thing to do on YouTube.
Basically, what she would do is she would go on a live. She would state like, "Oh yeah, I'm worth $5 million. Like I got all this money, this car I own this house." It turned out the mother was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
They were in one of her houses that she was trying to sell, and the car was actually the boss's car, and that she wasn't rich and all that stuff. And it was really her just doing this act, and she was kind of like trained. She was kind of like being coached by her brother to do this act. Okay. Eventually, the social media closes down because I think the father gets custody or something like that, and she doesn't do this act for a couple of years. Of course, there was one tweet that was a couple of years ago, I think 2021, where she just made allegations against her stepdad, and that he stole money, and they did a GoFundMe, and it was kind of the same kind of thing. The next thing that happened was recently, where Lil Tay on her. When we go to here, this is the GoFundMe that she was allegedly made up and made allegations about her father. And then eventually what happened is that, let me see what that letter is.
I think are you talking about what was posted?
Yes, it is with okay. This was posted, which was, it is with a heavy heart that we share the devastating news of our beloved Clara's sudden and tragic passing. Claire's her name, her real life name, not Lil Tay's. Lil Tay's a stage name. We have no words to express the unbelievable loss and indescribable pain. This outcome was just entirely unexpected and has left us all in shock. Her brother's passing adds an even more unimaginable depth to our grief. During this time of immense sorrow, we kindly ask for privacy as we grieve this overwhelming loss. As the circumstances surrounding Claire and her brother's passing, we still under investigation. Claire will forever remain in our hearts, her absence leaving an irreplaceable void that will be felt by all who knew and loved her. So that came out, and that lit the internet on fire. There was also a belief that the brother also passed, because I was googling and it was stating that the brother passed, and a lot of people were like, "What the hell is it? The brother and
Then
this
there
girl
was the
passed?"
whole then there was the whole jet ski thing, and that was real. That was another two. There was
Likewise.
another two people who died. It's just that the girl that was in the jet ski accident looked like her, so somebody ran with. There was so many fucking rumors.
Now it says TMZ was the only one who didn't buy it, but say they were in on it. Okay. I knew that TMZ. I never got a chance.
They were the first ones to post of her death, and then when you click the link to
Yeah, it was
there,
gone.
it was gone. Like
I'm
not
good,
even
Tim.
a
I'm good.
retraction.
Yeah, I mean that was weird. But basically, she's alive, and so far I don't know what was the reason why she did that. To be honest with you, but
Well, she's claiming she didn't do it, that it was
it was
somebody
a
else
hack.
who did it. That, well, her mother has the account, so this is what the story is. Mind you, this is a story we don't know the truth. Little Tay's whole image is to grab people's attention, to be extra, and to annoy. That's basically her whole gimmick. But apparently, she's trying to get away from her mother. Her parents don't want her on don't want her on YouTube making these videos anymore. And the story, the quote unquote story, is that her mother wrote it because she was just about to get her accounts back because her parents took away the accounts. She didn't have the login information. Her parents did.
Yeah.
So now the blame is going on the parents. Do we know the true story? No. Are we ever going to know the true story? Probably not.
Maybe.
But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that fake their own deaths, but it's really hard when it comes to her because her character, I can see her doing this, what she plays. But it could be anything. Isn't there a lawsuit with her and her parents, against her parents? Like an emancipation thing or something?
No, I'm not sure. Let me
There's a
see.
lot of stories out there, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what to think.
Let me see. Yeah, I think it was like the custody battle. That was the situation, and the GoFundMe situation.
Yeah.
Basically, the thing says Lil Tay trial over 4,000 raised to save 12-year-old from abusive father was as she fights over her custody in Canada. After almost a year of inactivity, 11-year-old social media influencer Claire Lil Tay hoped appeared to be back in the headlines following a series of stories, and this is an old article, obviously, shared on her Instagram account. The post sparked online discussions about her well-being and safety. So, going by the post shared in her story, Lil Tay's sibling Jason has set up a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for legal fees and other expenses. The viral sensation is slated to be on trial for custody in BC Supreme Court of Canada against her absentee father, Chris Hope, and her stepmother. Lil Tay will be fighting for her life, future, and freedom starting April 23rd. The child is desperate need of funds to support her fight against her abusive father. As a result, the situation has been in state depression. Quote, my sister has been silent on social media for the past 3 years because her absentee father, Chris Hope, served my mother a court order demanding control over Tay's money, career, custody. As a result, it was a court order that my sister had returned to Vancouver, Canada, and also requested through the court order to prevent her from speaking out about the truth. Since then, he has stolen millions of dollars from my sister and has taken control over our funds. While the GoFundMe set up just a day ago has already raised little money, so it raised like I think over $10,000.
Whatchamacallit? I sent you a link, but is the New York Post reliable?
Yeah, pretty reliable.
Okay, then.
Not reliable, not the worst, but it's like 50-50.
Yeah. Well, apparently, this is updated. You know, this is from the 9th of this month. When the father, her father, Chris Hope, works at a law firm in Lindsay LLP in Vancouver. When called at his office by the Post, the person answering the phone said that he was Hope, but would not confirm his daughter's death. This is during.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. He wouldn't
Yeah,
confirm
and
her being deceased. Yes.
and quote unquote, he said, "Yeah, you have the right person, but I don't have any comment right now." Quote unquote. He told the Post in a brief 2-minute call, ending with, "I'm not able to give you any comment right now. I'm sorry. Pause. I can't." So the parents have to know something.
Yeah, I mean,
Not everything, obviously, but even if they did know something, I think he would say, "I'm not going to make a comment on it." But if somebody asked, "Is your daughter like deceased?" you would think he would be like, "No, she's fine. She's playing video games at home." I don't know. Like, how would you not know if your kid is dead? Wouldn't that be the first thing that if you saw TMZ post
oh,
something
sorry about that,
about your
Jasmine.
kid?
You
What?
really sound passionate about reading it. Sorry about that. I should be a little more passionate. Sorry about that.
But if if you see an article being passed around everywhere, especially TMZ, that your kid could have gotten into this horrific accident or something, wouldn't you know everything from A, B to Z? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. It's weird. The whole entire thing's weird.
Yeah.
Or it could be
This
just
is
a big publicity stunt that the families are into, and they can't say anything.
Yeah.
It really could be. It could be all of them. Publicity stunt. We don't know, but the news hit, and it kind of took off from there.
Yeah. All right. So basically, she faked her death. We don't really quite.
She's
know what to
alive.
do. She's alive. The
And
brother's
so is
alive.
her brother. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. It was definitely set the whole YouTube on fire because a lot of people on YouTube made their career about reviewing her.
Oh yeah. And her. I even looked up real quick, and there's a lot of people haven't corrected themselves because I went to go look up her net worth, and they're saying that even they're like before her death, and I'm like, she's not dead. Her net worth is only $500,000.
Yeah.
So she's not like what she makes. Again, it's an act. Hey, Sleuth Mom. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't you like if I got a phone call from somebody saying, "Hey, we have a report that your daughter has passed," I would not be on the phone anymore. I would have hung up and called every family member I could that is within her radius to find, like, how do you not know?
Yeah. So anyway, next part.
Yes, next part, the
Zav
whole
Girl.
Zav Girl thing.
All right. So this is Tragedy Pimp Exposed. Now, what did you saw this, right? You saw the whole Zav Girl thing.
Yes, I saw it when it was, yeah.
We were thinking about talking about this a while ago, but life puts us about. But we didn't really. Tony didn't say his opinion. I said my opinion a couple of times. I thought it was abysmal, a terrible response. It really was weird. The deflection. It was really weird that they wanted to discredit Brian Enton by trying, like, this AF person here. Juliet AF wants to discredit Brian Enton by trying to dig up dirt on him. Kind of tone deaf situation. Very, very weird.
Is this the one where she says Queen Bee sent her people over or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing they could blame Queen Bee for. It wasn't that 99.9% of the world agreed that it was a piece of shit move, but
Yeah, it's not like Queen Bee works at CNN or Fox News or any of those big stations that reported on you and your disgusting acts. And then you sit there and you think, well, what's the best way for me to monetize this? That's how it sounded.
8 hours to clear the Lil Tay situation. Yeah, I agree with you, Tony. But, I mean, what else do you think?
I think the whole situation is disgusting. I think she needs to own up, say she fucked up, but no, she's looking for other ways to monetize. Maybe I should do a panel. I can't do it open. How are we going to referee this? And I'm kind of like, well, no, you fucked up. If people are going to come up and say to you, you fucked up, you should hear it. Do you get what I'm saying?
A piece of me kind of agrees with you, and a piece of me doesn't. Basically, if she let, like, fucking people up, she would get some shit for sure. Like it would be so goddamn crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, there could be people that might cross the line and say stuff. I get that, but you're thinking of a way to make this into a show, and your show's going to be monetized. So not only did you monetize, Gannon, poor Gannon, and his autopsy photos. Now you want to put on a show of the repercussions of that without you having. I thought you were going to take sensitivity courses. What happened to that? There's no fucking way. You were gone for a couple of weeks.
Maybe desensitivity courses.
I have no idea. What did you do that whole time? Did you say, like, there's really no excuse. There's no excuse, but then you continue on to try to make a show of it. Haven't you done enough damage? Can't you just admit that you fucked up and let it go? Like, that's just it. The father, Gannon's father, wants you to stop. So how about this? Fucking stop.
All right. I bounced over there the night it dropped at my own free will. No one sent me. I was against what she was doing straight up. Yeah, and she also kind of blamed a lot of people for encouraging her actions.
Oh, yeah, that was it too, yeah.
Now, I sat there and I was watching, I was listening to it, and I was like, why the fuck would you not take accountability, and why would you blame other people for actions you've done? I mean, listen, people give me bad ideas all the time. Doesn't, and if you do it, it's your fault. You have a brain, So, it is what it is.
Jasmina, she says that she was going to go to sensitivity courses, but I doubt she has. I really doubt she's had, because if she did, she wouldn't be back on YouTube saying, how can I make this into a show? Kind of just let it go. You fucked up. You did it. That's it. Say your apology, which you already did, even though now you're backtracking. It's just... But you can play the video, yeah.
I know I'm definitely going to address it. I'll say on my channel, I'm going to address some stuff just because it's interesting. And there are still some people, I know what was bothering you is that there are some people who seem to think that you did something you didn't do because there's so many lies going around.
We're talking about the whole thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
We're talking about the whole thing with the DNA and autopsy photos and stuff. I do want to address some things, and I would love to do an open panel, but I'm a little afraid just because I'm afraid of just trolls coming in to ruin the live stream.
Can you pause it real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have it on X speed something? Because when you hear Zav Girl, she's already talking fast, so it's kind of
like a chipmunk outside.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I would love to do an open panel, but I'm a little afraid just because I'm afraid of just trolls coming in to ruin the live stream.
Yes, anyone with criticism is a troll. Fantastic. I always love it. We're either driver channels or trolls. You never take accountability for what you've done. Fantastic.
Some of the misinformation going around about it, because I'm hearing so much stuff, and I just want the whole truth to be out and exactly what happened and what it is. And there's
a lot, for those of you who who have been around and maybe you just aren't online that much, you might have missed some of the craziness of it. And it definitely took a turn at a certain point where it just got, in my opinion, just ridiculous.
Okay, what was not true? You put autopsy photos of a deceased child behind a paywall on Patreon for $3, and it was a decayed body of a child, and basically it showed very explicit images of this child to the point where Save Robbie said the child, this is Save Robbie's quote, by the way, who saw the autopsy photos, the child didn't look human. That was his quote. How does that help? And I heard, not sure because I don't know, I've never seen the video, I'm just trying to tell people what I've heard, but apparently you were narrating, and at one point each part of the body, and also at one point you actually had the medical autopsy's voice over it as well. I don't know how that helps, but okay. How is that misinformation? If I told this to a normal person would be like, what the fuck? And they would immediately say this person is sick and deranged. So what is wrong? What was the misinformation? But this is like a buzzword with people. They say misinformation. They'll never get into the details of the misinformation because the details of the misinformation, there are none. It was basically reported that she put Gannon's autopsy photos behind a $3 paywall on Patreon.
Mhm.
That
And they're
was
trying, and the whole side tangent of, well, I'm presenting this for education and stuff like that, you know. And I remember, do you remember HBO used to have that show, Autopsy?
yes.
They never really showed the bodies. They showed pictures and diagrams, yes, but there was a sense of respect behind it. There was a sense of, I never saw a kid on that show. I'll tell you that. It was all adults, or it was back, back in the 20s. They
Yeah,
would talk about. It was never, what
Yeah.
she did. This was the education. You put it behind
So,
the paywall. We know what you were doing.
I
You're not
mean,
fucking
and
with
it's
BS.
a lot of tone deaf, a lot of blaming other people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen this, you've seen it before. Now, let's go to AF. AF Juliet makes a video 6 days ago. Let's watch that. Actually,
This is the woman that she's talking to right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. It's called Zavgate. So what happened here exactly? The Zav Girl turmoil.
Well, let's not give her a gate name.
Yeah, we got to give everyone a gate name because that's original.
Video to argue whether what you did was right or wrong. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, let's see what she
What I
says.
am going to do, or what I would like.
This is my first time seeing this, so this is going to be like an actual reaction.
Oh, so this is new. We're all on an adventure right now.
We're on an adventure. We're going to watch Juliet AF, the person who was giggling with Zav Girl during that live and was basically just like saying, oh, you didn't do nothing wrong, and it's just trolls and the drama channel. So we're going to listen to her.
Like to do is to explain exactly what she did and to show that the backlash that she has received from this is completely disproportionate to what she actually did. So if you care about the truth,
we're going
if
to
you
find
don't
out
like the
about the
idea
truth.
of like a good person
Why
getting
does
their
she have to
reputation
explain
ruined by
it?
misinformation.
Well, you know what? I mean, it is what it is. Maybe she's getting, I don't know, maybe she just feels very strongly and she wants to talk about it. So we'll see. Let's see. Maybe she's going to educate us and we'll learn. And maybe we'll find out that this was all overblown and, Zav Girl did nothing wrong.
Some of which is being spread around intentionally. Keep watching this.
Okay.
Or if you're just like a regular person who has no idea about anything that's been going on, you might want to watch anyway, because it's good to like familiarize yourself with this stuff because it happens every now and then.
Okay.
And you can sort of acquire the skills necessary to.
We're going to require skills?
Be able to see through it in the future when it happens to someone
good.
else, because it will.
We're going to require skills, Tony. Are you
on the internet,
excited?
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna learn.
That's just life.
We're going to learn how to.
So
we're all
let's
going to
talk about
require
the
skills.
actual
Can you
complete
drop the
truth.
link in the chat for them, please?
Yeah, sure. Why not recommend our
Thank you.
channel? Like, why not? We got to be fair and
Yeah,
honest in this
we
chat.
gotta be. Yeah, we're good. I mean, we don't like you.
We are fair and honest, chat. We're gonna have to. We have to be fair. What's
what
this?
happened, and let's do one of these.
Okay, let's see. She's gonna
So
turn
up
it
on the screen.
Okay.
A true crime content creator, Zav Girl,
Okay.
made a video about a murder case that
Okay.
showed the autopsy photos from that case. The photos shown in her video were the same exact photos that they showed during the trial for that case.
Wrong. Actually, there was some photos that weren't shown on that trial. They didn't show all the photos. Also, it was on a screen, on a television screen that was barely visible by anyone. And then some people who were live streaming it took it out of their videos. And also, it wasn't like literally up close photos of an autopsy of a child. So that's wrong so far. So she got one part wrong. Well,
Yeah.
The trial was live streamed to the public. So a lot of people had actually already seen these same autopsy photos.
Wrong, but we'll continue.
Mhm.
And those same photos that she used that were shown during the trial that was live streamed to the public, those same photos can still be seen right now, as of the moment I'm recording this, on YouTube on at least 4 separate channels.
Would you like to name those 4 channels, or are we going to just be ambiguous and just say anything? Because I can also be ambiguous and say, like, Bigfoot exists somewhere in the world. Doesn't, but I'm not going to tell you where. But, like, and you're wrong. It was on a screen, a television screen on the wall that you can barely see it on, and the parents weren't there at the time. But Zav decided to post it on the internet because she thought Patreon was a secure site that no one would ever gain access to the photos, like pay $3. Oh, wait, was that Natasha Cooper that downloaded it and put it on her Patreon? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that secured.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Stupid. Yeah.
I mean, this is the girlfriend of Zav Girl, I think. Is it really the girlfriend of Zav Girl?
Oh, that's her girlfriend. Well, I have no idea.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
They're still up on YouTube right now. So, what happened here exactly? How does that right there lead to death threats? And
We don't know if this is the girlfriend of Zav Girl. I don't know, but
We
let's
have
just
no
say
idea.
a friend. Let's say Zav Girl's friend, so I don't get into
Yeah.
trouble. A
Yeah.
friend.
constant harassment and like repeated cut and pasted comments over all.
So we're gonna go with Photoshop. Let's just go. We're gonna go with like Photoshop, fucking photos of deranged people on there. That's real quick.
Happened
You know, stock
here
photo,
exactly.
man.
So how does that right there lead to death threats and constant harassment and like repeated cut and pasted comments over all of her videos detailing like
Number one, I don't agree with death threats to anyone.
No.
I don't agree with going our real life on anyone. But
No.
you cannot. But she has not shown receipts of these death threats. No, and it's usually sometimes used by a lot of people as like kind of like a blanketed statement to defend yourself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, she proceeds to what was the thought? I had a thought in my head. She proceeds to see as harassment as comments on a community board, on like comments. That's not harassment. That's comment section. If I called every comment that isn't like right now on Deeds, there's a few comments that do not agree with my assessment. And if I said that's harassment, they would look at me like I was fucking nuts because that is not harassment.
Exactly.
That is criticism.
That's a good example. That's a good example.
There will be people that will disagree with you and what your actions are, and you just basically move on. So that's not harassment. I like the stock photo that shows like a nerdy guy with glasses, white guy, pasty nerdy guy.
He's so angry.
He's so angry.
like gruesome ways that they wish you would die. How does this, what I just described, end up having her getting text messages from unknown numbers
Hey,
that just
Steph.
have her home address in the body of the texts? It gets worse at that, but
I mean, like these photos are kind
This
of
is
like
the drama.
this is like really drama fucking photos. But like,
This is too
I love
much.
how you don't show receipts of this. You know, like usually you would show like a receipt of the death threats and the text messages, blocking out the number and saying so and so said this and so said that. But
we're gonna use stock photos.
But what does that take away? Let's think about this logically.
Yeah.
What does that take away from what Zav Girl did was wrong? Just because there's assholes out there that are assholes that will text people and attack them like that and say fucked up things, doesn't take away that Zav Girl did something wrong. So please
Exactly.
convince me what Zav Girl did was not wrong. You have not done so far.
Welcome to the internet. Even when you're just playing a video game and not doing anything wrong, people will still tell you to unalive yourself. That's the reality of it.
No. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with going real life. I don't agree with that shit. I think people that do that are assholes. And I disavow every single one of them. But if someone puts a comment and says, if someone puts a comment and says, Zav Girl, you're a piece of shit for doing this, that's not a death threat. So
I'm not going to get into it. How does that make sense? Let's look at a headline from Brian Enton.
Okay, we're going to look at Brian Enton. Why
over at News Nation.
Okay.
YouTuber charged $3 to see gruesome autopsy photos of 11-year-old boy.
Okay.
That seems accurate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just reading that, it makes it sound like she set up some weird booth in like a back alley. It was like a curtain. It was like $3 gets you in.
Well, she basically did that, but on the internet. She went on Patreon and she made a tier, a $3 tier that you can join to see the photos. So she basically did like what it would be more accurate to be like the freak show where they said, do you want to see the mermaid, the body of that half man, half mermaid for a quarter? She basically did that. So she turned the situation with Gannon's photos
She made it a spectacle.
A spectacle, the freak show, stuff like that. So yes, she was doing that for $3. So that was an accurate statement. So what was?
I don't like her metaphors. They're not making sense to me.
Also, to laugh at something like that it shows you kind of disassociating yourself from the severity of the situation. But anywho,
yeah.
What the hell? Okay, so no. And here's what I think is a super important correction that needs to be made. So Zav Girl didn't like leak these photos onto her Patreon. she didn't like upload a file where you can like download it and see.
She did upload it down. She dropped a
did.
Dropbox link that
Yeah.
a person can click on and download the photos, and which leaked it on the internet because it allowed Natasha Cooper to download the photos and put it on her Patreon, and it allowed also people that went on either Zav Girls or Natasha Cooper's to download it and upload it on Facebook and
Yeah.
also Reddit. So yes, she leaked the photos and she allowed it to be downloaded. So your points are, and she also downloaded it because it's a Dropbox link. So I don't know what your points are. 3 minutes behind, yes, this is her girlfriend, and yes, you can still see the photos on the court live stream from local news channels. But it's not up close, personal photos. If you catch
It's
what
not
you're-
the actual photos. That's the thing. See
Yeah,
it through
it's-
the TV or something. That's different.
Yeah, and it's not, and some of them I don't think shows all. I heard, could be wrong, so because you did cover this case, I heard that not every single photo was gone through because it wasn't quite necessary. But that
Mind
just,
you, the big point is that Gannon's father skipped
yes, that is
this
true.
day.
Lauren.
Skipped this day so he didn't have to see the torture of his son. And
I
now
would
it's online.
also state that she did try to re-upload it multiple times when it was taken down. Yes, on Patreon as well.
Oh, she did?
The
She
photo.
Yes, she did.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So when it was being reported and it was taken down on Patreon, she was constantly trying to re-upload the Dropbox link. And a matter of fact, when it was taken down from Patreon, the link was still good. So if you had the Dropbox link, you could still go to the Dropbox link and download the video, even
I hope
when it
nobody
was down
did
from
that.
Patreon.
I really
So-
hope nobody did that.
Yeah.
Those like it wasn't like that at all. What she actually did was she created an entire video,
Yes.
which is what she normally does because she's a true crime YouTuber.
Hmm,
The majority
debatable.
of which she took the audio from when the coroner was talking during the trial and describing the injuries of the victim. She paired that with the autopsy photos that the coroner was referencing during the trial, and then she added like little annotations and stuff to it so that you could tell what the coroner was talking about as she was talking about it.
Okay.
That's what she did. So it
Oh,
was
that's
basically
cool.
like a more concise, easy to follow version of what happened in court. Like the comments that she got on the video before the link was intentionally stolen and spread around the internet.
Stolen or downloaded? She's dumb enough to put it on a downloadable ability that people can download it and put it up there. And I love how they jump on. Listen to people's language. Zav Girl was more upset that someone actually downloaded it and took it from her than actually the father was pissed off at her for doing it. Notice that she doesn't really say to herself, man, I feel so terrible that the father is so angry at me. She's more angry that someone actually downloaded it and took her content because she considers that her content. Just saying, that seems a little odd to me. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just overanalyzing it. You know,
Well,
me personally,
she did complain a lot that she had to pay a lot to get the
yeah.
followers.
I mean, me personally, if a grieving parent was on the news stating how terrible what I did was terrible, I would probably feel pretty shitty as a person, like pretty shitty. I'd be like, God damn, what I did was pretty immoral, and maybe I should just take accountability and apologize. But maybe I'm spitballing here. I agree with him. It's always others' fault. Yes, absolutely. No, not the up close photos, but they also did not show G-Men's identifying features on the court. Thank you, Sooth Mom.
And
By the
that
way-
girl showed all of the photos.
Yeah. So just pay
Okay,
attention to
boy.
people's language when they're more angry about stealing content, which, by the way, stating the photograph, like autopsy photos of a child is your content. I wouldn't do that, but keep on going.
In an effort to destroy her. Their words, not mine, which is what happened.
Destroy her. No, I didn't really have a desire to destroy Zav Girl. I had a desire to basically say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe this is a bad idea because you've already harassed people during the Kylie Rodney case. You already had stickers of deceased children as reward tiers on your membership things. And you also acted like a fool during the Dylan Rounds case. And maybe you shouldn't do this too. But whenever we give her advice, it's drama and it's
Yeah, how
it's
dare you?
harassment.
How dare you have an opinion on my very public video.
The comments were like, "Thank you so much. I get it now. I didn't know what the coroner was talking about when she said yada yada yada, but et cetera, et cetera." So whether you think she should have done it or not, I hope that we can all agree that what she actually did has not been correctly represented by any headlines you've read or videos you've seen in the past 3 weeks or so, right? Can we all agree on that? I hope. And to clarify the $3 thing, because a lot of people are caught up on that for some reason, and I honestly don't really understand why that would be the issue. But so there was a $3 charge that existed before she even made this video, and that was the fee to become a member of her Patreon. And then once you're a member of her Patreon, you could see whatever video she puts up.
She forgot to mention that she was purposely, the Zav Girl was advertising on her multiple videos on YouTube that she would be getting the autopsy pictures and putting it on her Patreon. And she knew that she couldn't put it on YouTube because it would get her channel banned.
That's what she said.
So, I mean, she knew it was not good for YouTube, so she put it on Patreon, and she charged $3 for people to get into the thing to watch it. And in your intentions were not for people to download it. Your intentions were that other people would watch it for $3 a piece. So, yes, you were charging people $3 to see his autopsy photos.
And didn't she lose her Patreon?
Yes, she did.
So clearly she did something wrong. Because you only lose something when you do something wrong.
Well, not all the time. But
well, YouTube is a
sometimes.
different story, but we're talking about Patreon here.
On
Same
Patreon.
thing.
That's totally normal. That's just how that particular platform works. So there actually wasn't even any charge to view this specific video. So even that.
Wait, there was a charge? There was a charge?
There was a charge, but you're talking about pre-existing people who already are on that level on her Patreon. Do you know how many people probably paid for her Patreon?
Yeah, I think like I would say like a huge number of more people joined your Patreon because you joined Zav Girl's Patreon because you advertised it. I don't know the precise number, but it literally was very little, and then suddenly skyrocketed by like maybe like 7-8 times the number.
Part
she's not getting.
But as far as the money goes, so those channels that I mentioned a second ago, the 4 channels that still have the autopsy photos up on YouTube, those
You
are
didn't
monetized
mention the
channels.
channels.
You mentioned she mentioned 4 channels before that had the photos on the.
But she didn't tell us the channels.
Well, they're not going to tell you the channels because it would force people to actually look at the channels and see that she's full of shit. But anyway, it's better to be ambiguous when you do things like that.
Exactly.
If you were to go over there right now to see.
How would we go over there if you won't tell us the name of the channels, ma'am?
Those autopsy photos, they'd be making money from you seeing the photos. Or as a lot of people like to say, they'd be making money off of the autopsy photos.
No, you don't make money from YouTube videos unless you have like 2 million people watching you. You really don't make money from AdSense at all, ma'am. You're wrong. But anywho, continue.
But notice no one's over there on those channels harassing them or even telling them to take it down.
Some channels did take it down, and also some channels left it on because it was part of a trial, a murder trial, ma'am. Not some fucking back alley thing where you charge people $3 to see the up close photos of a deceased child while you have an autopsy person narrate, and while you have Zav Girl having like little typing, whatever it is. I don't know.
Almost like it's not really about the autopsy photos.
Yes, it is about the autopsy photos.
Yes, it is.
Also on the topic of Patreon, and this is kind of funny, like in retrospect.
Okay.
Zav Girl
I'm good for
intentionally
Joe.
did not put this video up on YouTube. Not even at first because it was going to probably get taken down. I was actually the one that said to her, like, you're going to waste time and effort making this and they're going to take it down right away. But YouTube's really like inconsistent with what they allow and what they don't. So you never know what they're going to remove and what they aren't. But her main concern was that she didn't want people who didn't want to see the photos to like accidentally stumble across them.
I call bullshit.
That's the thing, though. If you knew that there was going to be a lot of people who don't want to see the photos, then there's 2 things that you did.
And they were blurred by the DA. Yeah, but she doesn't want to give you the name. But of course, she's going to be like sitting there, like, okay. But it's just bullshit. But what are you going to say, man?
No, I was going to say there's 2 things that streamers do, or YouTubers do when they're going to get into graphic content. Either they don't do it at all, they don't show it, or they give you a warning. They say, hey, skip to this part if you don't want to see this or something.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Or spoilers or something. You know what I mean?
But according
She didn't
to
do
her,
any of that.
there's a large crowd of people that just want to hunt down Zav Girl. No one was talking about Zav Girl for a very long time. A lot of people were actually quite not like really just thought Zav Girl was maybe learning from the Kylie Rodney case and maybe was moving on. But you know, she proved us wrong once again, and thus this is occurring.
If the news is literally calling you out on your shit and it left YouTube and it went to national news, there's a problem.
Kids, like, think of how many parents just give tablets to their kids and they go do whatever, and the kids on there clicking and looking at God knows what.
It's called YouTube Kids. You can download that program and they won't be able to see your crime. So I don't know if she doesn't
my
understand
nephew
that.
has YouTube Kids, and it's safe. I mean,
I'm sorry, but that's not true. Parents responsible parents have YouTube Kids, or they have their account linked where they just basically monitor what they.
And how would they find her channel anyways? It's not going to show up on their For You page.
Yeah, like way to just bullshit and lie to everyone. I mean, if you're just letting your kid who's like 10 years old look up Zav Girl's content, you might have some problems. I would definitely say that's not good.
You're not a good
So
parent.
it felt too public to her. So that's why she put it up on her Patreon, where at least it would be a little more contained.
So she's a hero now because she put it behind Patreon.
She's saving the kids.
She's saving the kids. Don't you get it, guys? She's saving the kids.
She's saving the kids while she exploits a dead kid. Way to go. I don't know where I would be without you. Go ahead, press play.
Fantastic.
And now she's getting shit for having it on her Patreon. Because no good deed goes unpunished. Let's address.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. She was feeling it though. She was really like she thought she did something there. Like she was being like cheeky. No,
and she said no good deed goes unpunished. Did she just say?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, Zav's the hero. She's saving the kids while she exploits a dead one. Way to go.
Saving the children, guys. How is that a good deed? Like, if you wanted it private, okay, you could have been on Discord and you could have had like a Discord group where you could have discussed it with people on Discord and you could have showed them the video so that it wouldn't be like downloadable and it could have been private with the Discord. And I'm not saying you should have done that, but I'm saying that would probably have been a better situation.
That would have been safer than a Dropbox. And
that would have been a lot. Yeah, that would have been a lot more of a defensible position where you say, I never intended it to go on the internet. I just wanted my Patreon. I just wanted people who I really support me or people that really are interested to go on Discord to watch this and we could discuss it and stuff like that. That would be a defensible position. That would be like something I can probably say to myself, yeah, that sounds like something someone doing privately. They show it they do a share screen on Discord. They show it to very few people that they want to watch it. And you have a discussion about it on Discord. That you could do it. But when you say it's private, when you put in a Dropbox link on a $3 Patreon link where I could just pay $3, download it, and now I have unlimited access to the video. No, that's not private, ma'am. And that's not saving the children.
No good
Discord.
deed.
Yeah, Discord. Thank you. Beat him, Discord. But I'm just saying, like, that would have been, or anything else like that. I don't know. But anyway, let me see. For me, it's always been that G-Man's identifying features were put out, and the court did not show us his identifying features. Agreed.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's my thought on that.
That's another important misconception. Did the photos that she used in her video show Gannon's genitalia? No, they did not. Everything was blurred out, just like it was when they showed the photos during the trial, because they're the same photos that were shown during the trial. You couldn't see anything. So this was addressed.
At that point, I can't confirm or deny because I never seen the video. I just took Queen's word for it. She said he was naked. I don't remember she said the genitalia thing, but I'm not sure about that. But
yeah,
so I can't disprove it.
We can't comment on that right
now.
Really early on, actually, and even some of the angry people corrected other angry people and said, no, you couldn't see anything.
You mean people were correcting misinformation that they thought existed? Okay. I thought they weren't correcting each other. I thought they were
angry
just.
people were correcting angry people. You mean people who, as a collective, thought sharing an autopsy photo of a kid, take away the nudity part, are angry.
Yeah. Okay.
But this lie,
no
this particular
sense.
lie, has been pushed so hard that it actually bugs me out. Like almost like some people like wanted it to be true or something. There's something cringy going on with that I couldn't
Cringy?
touch with a 10-foot pole. So moving on.
So are you accusing people of being like weirdos or something because that was just discussed? Interesting. Number one, autopsies are performed naked. It could have been blurred. I don't know. I've never seen it. I have no clue about it. But I am stating that usually autopsy photos are when you are naked.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's so. I don't know why she's dying on this hill, but whatever.
So I keep hearing she should have known better than to make a video showing the autopsy photos of a child.
Yes.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I will tell you right now that I personally would not have known better than to do that. Not because I'm an
Okay.
Okay, common sense.
I'm a little worried now because that seems like a pretty common thing not to do that something like that. But apparently, you don't think that's appropriate. I mean, like, okay. I mean, would you be happy if one of your relatives was deceased and I decided to make a YouTube video and put it behind a $2 like a $3 Patreon and sell it? Your image of your last moments of your child's life for money? I mean, if that's the case.
The thing. That you hit it right on the nail. The reason why they're so, relaxed about this whole situation and we're the ones in the wrong for being upset is because it's not happening to them.
I mean, okay. I mean, like, I noticed a kid in the background, and I don't know who that kid is, but, like, would you be happy if someone did that to you? I would think you would be pretty motherfucking pissed. I know me personally, if someone did that to, like, a close relative of mine, I would want to destroy that person's life. Like, literally, I would. Maybe that's what she means when she said someone destroys Zav Girl. I probably said that on live. I says, if someone took the pictures of my murdered relative, like a child, my child or my sister or my mom, or I don't have a child, but I'm just saying if I had a child.
Yeah.
And someone basically put that out there behind a $3 paywall and did what she did, I would sue the fuck out of them. I would liquidate all my assets and sue the fuck out of them to the point where I would not care about winning a dime. I would want to financially fuck them for life.
That's what we mean destroy. We don't mean it in any physical or any other way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do.
We're gonna go at your purse. Is basically.
Idiot, or because I'm uncaring, or anything like that.
You are
neither of those
uncaring.
things. Here's why I might not have known. So autopsy photos have never been off limits in the true crime community. There was never any general consensus of like, oh, we don't do that here or anything like that. To a lot of people, they're just part of the cases that get talked about constantly. It's like body cam footage or 911 calls or arrest warrants and all of that. In fact, prior to posting this video, Zav Girl actually asked a bunch of people during a live stream if they would be interested in her making a video where she lines up the coroner's descriptions of the injuries with the photos that she's talking about. And not one single person said, don't do it.
Because her audience is a bunch of sycophants and just will be happy about anything that she does. Just because your audience says it's okay doesn't mean it's okay. If I had an audience of people and I says, hey guys, would you like me to murder Tony? And they all said yes. And I murder Tony. Am I going to go to the judge and say, hey, the chat told me to murder Tony and it's their fault? Or would I take responsibility for a bad decision? Just a thought. I'm not going to murder Tony, but that's just an example.
Well, you get to. It's all about perspective.
Oh, thank you, Faithful. Like like she's blaming the chat. She's blaming the chat for a bad decision. Like, no, man. Like, the chat sometimes gives you very bad ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Very bad ideas. And sometimes you have to use your critical thinking skills to say to yourself, yeah, that's a really bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't. And you know what? And I've heard people who were like, yes, I've looked at autopsy photos. But I don't think I've ever seen a scenario, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, where someone created a YouTube video explicitly of the photos, put the autopsy images over it, and posted it on YouTube, a close-up of a murdered child that, for the least, like, that's not like ancient. I've never seen it even for old cases, but I've never seen it recently or anything, and I think that usually gets
Yeah.
banned. So I don't know. Though usually what happens is I think a lot of people in the true crime sphere might do a document request and they get autopsy photos and they look through it and they might look through the records and they read through the records and stuff like that. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually post the photos online.
Real true crimers on YouTube do not. They might post, oh, this is the house where it took place, or this is, the basement where she was kept in, or this is, they'll show you objects, but I've never seen, a body.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone do that on YouTube, but I could be.
And Jenny's right. The whole entire thing is, this isn't like, this is a kid. This is an 11-year-old boy who did nothing fucking wrong besides existing. That's it.
Yeah, and the fact is that this kid was murdered as revenge by the stepmother, and she wanted to make the father hurt, and you just hurt the father by releasing these photos. So, congratulations, you helped the murderer.
And there was a lot of people that were asked. Special shout out, though, to those people who were there for that live stream when she asked that, said, yes, I would be interested in seeing that, and then went up on YouTube when the shit hit the fan to talk about how horrible she is.
Would you like to give us names? I would love to know those names. Please tell me.
For doing this.
She
I won't say your name.
This is a joke. It's pissing me off.
On top of
yes, she is very much laughing. There is something wrong with her affect. She is really fucking wrong in her head.
Why are we having a debate about
number
this?
one thing,
it's an 11-year-old boy. That's what I don't get.
I think that would have probably given at least me the impression that this is an okay thing to do. Other YouTubers having done the same exact thing and not getting any backlash for it. Like, if that doesn't say, yeah, this is acceptable, I don't know what does. And I'm not talking about like little channels where no one happened to see it, so no one was able to get angry about it. I'm talking big channels, like big channels. So 10 to Life, one of the biggest true crime content creators on the internet, with 1 gazillion billion subscribers, those are the actual numbers. She did the exact same thing that Zav Girl did, if not worse.
No.
With what?
She took news articles. Now, you could say they were explicit, and I will not debate you on it being explicit, but she took things from the news and put it behind Patreon. I believe she did a voiceover, whatever. It is what it is. But she did not take autopsy photos, take the coroner's testimony, and put it over a $3 tier. And actually, you can stand on that, ma'am, and claim that she did the same thing with autopsy photos. And when 10 to Life sues you for defamation, then you can cry to Zav Girl, your girlfriend, about this whole scenario. But me, I am not going to defame people without actual proof. And if you're going to make a claim that she did the same thing, I'm hoping to see receipts, because you're making a claim and you should have receipts when you make a claim like that. Because that's kind of a career-ending claim. Just saying.
She got stock photos for days, though.
Oh, yeah, she has stock photos for days, but no receipts. I guess they're gone.
I would like to see the receipts. So
far, we don't know the names of the people in the chat that were supporting it and kind of...
Well, her big thing, if she ever clapped back, and then she was like, well, I didn't tell you guys the channels because I didn't want Gannon's, photos to spread even more. That she's that type of person. That she wants to be the savior in this. This is why she made the video.
And also, it's like, if you do have proof that Annie did that, I would suggest you give us the receipts. Like, I don't make claims like that unless I have some sort of proof.
I need
but
the
you're making,
yeah.
And I'm not saying worse to throw her under the bus. Like, I
don't
want her to be attacked either. I'm just saying worse because like hers was more gruesome because of what happened to the kid in that case that she was covering.
How is a kid being stabbed 18 times, shot once, and left in a suitcase to decompose not pretty bad, too? Like, I would say that's pretty bad.
And also, her video was like a little clickbaity, which I'm never really a fan of, whereas Zav Girl's was more like just there if you were interested.
What is okay? She shows us this. What is not clickbaity about telling people in multiple live streams that you're getting the autopsy photos of the child and telling them to go to Patreon?
But yeah, over 900,000 subscribers.
Okay.
She put it up on her Patreon, where you have to pay to become a member.
Okay.
Same exact shit that Zav Girl
No,
did.
it's not.
And no outrage whatsoever.
No, there was people that were annoyed with her. There actually are people that make videos about that scenario. Some are true, some are false, but the truth of the matter is she did not put autopsy photos, and it was mostly like news articles and stuff like that. Explicit, not something I would do, not something I would watch, but not the same thing. And she really does have a lot of stock photos. Like, holy fuck.
Like that guy with the I feel like I'm watching a pyrocynical video. Like
Yeah, like this is like fucking weird. At least she paid for it. There's no like watermark on it, so she did pay for them.
Not a peep from anyone. So it was okay to do it when 10 to Life did it. It was okay to do it up until the point that Zav Girl did it. Or what? How does this work? Prior to July 10th, it's okay to do, and then July 10th, it's evil. And lastly, on the topic of she should have known better.
Okay.
I know a lot of people who are genuinely upset about this are not going to like what I'm about to say, and I do apologize because I know the feeling that you're going to get because I've been there in other circumstances, and it's a shitty feeling. It's uncomfortable.
Okay.
To find out that like a large amount of people disagree with you when it's something that you feel really strongly about. It is a shitty feeling, and
That's
I do
life.
apologize. But the truth, which is important.
I like to be the president. I like to be the ruler of the world, but a lot of people disagree with me, and I feel very, very disappointed. I'm just joking. That's a joke.
Is that a lot of people did not think and still do not think that what she did was wrong. Now, the comments.
What?
I don't.
Wait. We gotta hear that again. We gotta hear that again. Let's listen.
Oh
I do
my
apologize,
God.
but the truth, which is important, is that a lot of people did not think and still do not think that what she did was wrong.
What? Oh no. Okay, that was a good joke, lady. You made me laugh a little bit.
I don't know who this person is, but my first, Oh God damn it! Everybody's calling me
Penguin
today,
Zero.
I'm sorry.
Let's see how many people like on Penguin Zero. Let's see. Penguin Zero has like 4 million subs. Let me see. Penguin Zero.
Sorry, y'all. My phone keeps going off.
Your phone keeps going off.
People keep calling me.
All right, let me see now. Let me see. All right, Zav Girl. Let's go with Zav Girl. Let's see how many people that did not like her. All right, Zav Girl. 4 million views a month ago. Okay. All right. So let's see how many positive like comments. All right. There is about 15,213 comments. Let me do a quick search. Zav Girl did nothing wrong. Let me do that search for the comments. Zero found.
Zero found. I mean, she clearly did. I know it. She's trying to protect her. I get it.
See.
But you can't protect somebody by just blowing hot air.
Oh, wait. There are some people. Let me see. There's some people.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can imagine there's like a handful.
Okay.
But majority rules.
There is about 100 people. 100 people out of 15,000 comments.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people, actually I would say tens of millions of people or more, everyone that heard this story, I would say 97% to 98% said this was pretty fucked up. But, majority agree that Zav Girl did nothing wrong. That's why her Patreon still exists. Oh, wait, it doesn't exist. That's why she was basically had to leave her comments on it. Wait, her comments were shut off. That's why she basically made 2 apology videos. Yeah, and then had to delete it because it was fucking tone deaf.
Now, the comment section on her posts are filled with people who think what she did was wrong because that's how comment sections work on the internet. So the people who are really angry about something are the ones that are going to blow up the comments.
Because our algorithm
people who are
is
like,
that good.
I thought that autopsy photos were just part of true crime.
Autopsy photos is part of true crime, but putting them behind a paywall on Patreon and basically monetizing right after a trial, right after a murder trial,
Yeah.
not being a doctor, and also basically allowing it to be easily accessible by everyone is not acceptable, ma'am.
It's
If
too
Zav Girl wanted to make sure that only her core members watched it, who wanted to watch it, she could have created a StreamYard link, for instance, invited people over to watch it. You know, she could probably, I'm sure there would be more than a couple of people, like 10, 15 people. She could have done a Discord and showed the video. She could have done things like that, but a private StreamYard. But she did not. She proceeded to be reckless and completely reckless in how she put this video out there. And people, and I would love this woman to actually walk outside and talk to real life people, because I've talked to people in real life. I've talked to a couple of people who are in, just sitting around drinking coffee, and I told them the story, and they said one word was demented. Another word was this person's a sick fuck. There was a lot of words like that. So no, ma'am, most people do not agree with your position.
They're not going to be commenting because they're going to be like, weird, and go on with their day. Or if they do feel like commenting, they're going to end up not doing it because they don't want to get berated and called evil and disgusting. Because why would anyone want that? So they don't say anything. They stay silent. But a lot of people in that camp who stayed silent in the comments reached out to Zav Girl personally. And I swear on my mom and on my cat, who I'm obsessed with, it's about 55-45. From what I've seen. 55% people who think what she did is wrong, 45% think.
Wait a minute, I thought more people thought what she did was right. So there's more people in her scenario that believe that what she did was wrong. So make sense.
That it's not. And I'm not saying that to try to argue whether it was right or wrong. I'm just sharing it as another reason why one might not know better.
And also, I don't agree to the scenario just because the majority agrees something's right. I mean, makes it right. Like, there was a majority of people in World War II in a certain country that thought doing certain thing was the right decision, and it was wrong. Of course, most of the world said it was wrong, but in that country, it was a little bit of a different scenario. So, just saying.
Then to make this video, because I know I wouldn't have, and a lot of other people wouldn't have either. That's all. So, to recap real quick, a true crime content creator, Zav Girl, made a video about a murder case that showed autopsy photos from that case. The photos shown in her video were the same exact photos that were shown during the trial for that case. The trial itself was live streamed to the public, so a lot of people had actually already seen these same autopsy photos.
Wrong.
The photos she used in her video can still be seen on at least 4 separate channels on YouTube.
Wrong.
As of right now when I'm filming this. And other creators have done the exact same thing in the past.
Wrong.
Without any backlash. So my question is, that you may have guessed, how genuine...
So one thing was correct out of that whole list. Okay.
Is all of this outrage, exactly. So, in my opinion, not very genuine at all. I think all of the normal people who disagreed with showing autopsy photos, or were fine with autopsy photos, but not if it's a child, or whatever their opinion was, which is completely valid, I think those people expressed how they felt, which is good, because you should do that, and then they moved on. I do not believe, for 1 second, that anyone who's still going after Zav Girl now, almost a month later, after the video's not up anymore, after she apologized, is actually upset.
She never apologized. She deleted her first apology comment. Then her second, I don't even know if the second one's still up, but it was basically like a non-apology.
It was deflecting, yeah.
And it was such deflecting and gaslighting and bullshit. And then you and her proceeded to laugh at the Karens who were upset about this, and that they were just too busy, housewives sitting at home, too busy just chilling out, just to be angry about something. Okay. That's really taking accountability.
Oh, and then you blamed it on Queen Bee's people coming over. No, it's the majority thinks what you did, Zav Girl, not the woman that you see now. She's in her fault too. But what Zav Girl did was disgusting. It was just disgusting. I'm still waiting for those sensitivity classes. They need to hurry the fuck up.
Let me see something 1 moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at a video right now because I'm looking at 9 nudes, right? All right.
You're looking at what?
9 nudes. Okay. So basically, the photos that she's claiming that are shown on the screen, but they don't show identifying features like the face. You just see the body, like the chest and the stomach. there is a person going through it. Let me see. You're looking at certain parts of the body. And it's done after about 20 minutes of testimony. But you could not tell any identifying features of the child.
And if they don't play, if that's what they play in court, it's a reason why they only put those pictures up in court. Do you get what I'm saying? So why wouldn't you just use the pictures that were in court? And why did you have to add more? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like, what she should have done. Why would you, like... Okay. If there was the photos in the courtroom, right? What she should have done, this is like a shocker, I know, and it was shown on the screen, it was the exact same thing. Why would you not cut out that part and put it as a video in your YouTube channel, or put it on, you know, maybe members only, and just basically that's it? Why would you need to take the next step in creating up-close photographs of a child, taking the audio from it and putting it over to get a closer look of the dead body?
Wasn't it a mistake for those photos to be in those files anyways? That's what I heard. That's why I'm asking. So
no, I don't think it's a mistake. I think they were just in there. Like, a lot of news agencies got those photos as well, but they didn't put them up.
Yeah, because they fucking knew better. You get what I'm
So,
saying?
I mean, like, if you're stating, like, her own argument, let's say we give her credit for her argument. Let's say they actually were the same, right? Absolutely the same, right? Why would you take an extra step to take the photos and do the video and do the up close? What's the point? Why would you not cut out the part of the trial and just put that part there if it's shown on the screen? I don't know. That would probably make sense, right? Because then you can actually see the actual court, the person who's pointing out the parts of the body and explaining things on the screen, instead of having to just cut out her voice and just focus intently on the body of the child. I mean, like...
Let's be realistic. Zav Girl knew that morbid curiosity is out there, and she marketed it.
Okay, so Glary says it should not have been in the files. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, see, I was about to say it was an accident. It was an accident. So,
Tony's right. Tony's always right, guys. He's always right.
I'm not always right, but this time I was. But yeah, it shouldn't have gone. But that's the thing too. I think that person should be held accountable too.
Yeah. So let's continue.
Set on behalf of Gannon or his family. I don't. You can say you are, but you're not. This is internet shit at this point, and you're not fooling anyone. If you're a grown-ass adult and you get positive feelings over the idea of ruining someone on the internet, go to therapy.
So I thought Zav Girl was going to therapy. Why would I have to go to therapy for pointing out your bullshit and the fact that you are profiting off of the death of a child?
Welcome to the internet. People are going to have opinions, and
yeah,
most times it's going to be negative. Don't like it. Don't you have a YouTube channel?
I mean, you don't see me commenting on, like, certain people have commented about me and negatively and said, go to therapy, guys. You shouldn't be commenting negatively about me. No, people have opinions. They have the right to shoot those opinions, and that's it.
Seriously, I'm not saying that like as an insult. Really go to a therapist, because that's not a normal way of thinking. It's not healthy. You need to fix your shit for your own sake.
Yeah, but sharing a dead kid's photos to the world, that's okay. Zav Girl does not need therapy.
Yeah, she's perfectly normal. Majority of people agree. You know, if a majority of people said human sacrifice was perfectly fine, let's just go back to sacrificing people, guys. That's fantastic. According to Zav Girl's logic, which I don't think... I don't believe a majority of people believe that what she did was right, but her arguments are stupid, okay? Because you can't really just base your morals on the majority, like saying, well, the majority of people in chat said it was okay. Well, you know,
she's trying to justify it. You know, it's sad.
Like you more, you'll be able to make friends offline. You'll have people in your life that care about you.
I mean, are you doing that, ma'am? Because you're right now on a video trying to defend your girlfriend who posted images of a murdered child behind a $3 paywall. and you are laughing about it like deranged women.
Like we're the crazy
deranged,
ones.
Yeah, like deranged people. I think you are disconnected from society, because in my world, if a person posted images of children, and I like majority of people say, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
Stop acting like this. You're doing it to yourself. Which brings me to the winners of the Shitastic Human Being Awards.
Okay.
The other true crime YouTubers who went all out attacking Zav Girl in their videos.
Okay,
and I'm not talking about the ones who did a video saying they disagree, or maybe they did it because everyone was talking about it. Anyway, that's fine.
Okay,
I'm talking about the ones that really went hard on
Let's
it.
tell
So
us.
why do I consider them the worst of all?
Can you tell us the
Because
name?
they knew.
Please do.
So an outsider hearing about this or hearing some version of what she did, I could see them hearing it and thinking it's outrageous. But the true crime YouTubers,
which is the majority of people, so you just destroyed your own argument that the majority of people would think it was outrageous. Okay, so you destroyed multiple of our arguments. Continue.
who've been doing this for years, they knew it wasn't outrageous. They knew that people consider the autopsy.
Okay, I'm going to ask the chat, do you think what Zav Girl was outrageous? Because you guys have been in the true crime sphere, some of you longer than me. Do you think what Zav Girl did was outrageous? 1 in the chat for yes, 2 for no. I'm going to be kind of surprised if I see 2s.
We're doing a vote. 1, see? Yeah. Obviously.
Right. So, I mean, there's not a lot of people, but I'm pretty sure in Queen Bee's chat, there was a lot of people that also answered that question. They also thought what Zav Girl did was outrageous. I'm sure a lot of people in Chasing's chat thought it was outrageous. I'm sure a lot of people in Dee's chat thought it was outrageous. There was a majority of the true crime sphere that thought what Zav Girl did was outrageous behavior. That's why she lost 5,000 subscribers.
She did lose that many at the end?
Yeah, that's why even like the Lab thought it was outrageous behavior. The Lab, Dolly Vision.
Oh God! If
Dolly Vision thought it was an outrageous act.
If Dolly is the sound of reason in this, then that's scary.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of people who I normally do not agree with. I'd agreed with in this particular scenario.
The photos a part of all of these cases that they talk about all the time. They knew that the photos she used were the same ones that were shown during the trial. There's live stream that's still up on YouTube right now. And they knew that other true crime content creators have done the exact same thing that Zav Girl just did. They knew.
No.
Wait, hold on, pause
and instead
it.
of going
those other those other creators on YouTube, the true crimers that she's talking about, wouldn't even have those photos or anything if it wasn't for Zav Girl.
No. She's talking about the trial. See, the trial basically, the medical examiner basically was testifying about the body, basically the wounds on the body, everything like that. So it was on a TV screen over her head, and she was pointing towards areas. And basically, yes, it was very, very, very grotesque. But you did not see the identifying features, and it wasn't zoomed in like Zav Girl was doing in her video. So
she made it a show, is what I'm getting at.
So if her desire was to educate her audience on what the medical examiner was saying, why wouldn't you cut out the part of the live stream with the live stream of the trial and just put that part up? Like just cut out, be like, 20-minute video, you put it on YouTube and you say, this is the medical examiner explaining Gannon's body during the trial. And you could have put that on YouTube and you could have said, listen, trigger warning, don't watch this if you can't handle it. This is Gannon's trial, autopsy thing. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Here's a video. Or you could have put that on Patreon. Or you could have just shown that to your audience on Discord. But,
there was so many steps in between that she could have just sat back and go, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah, it's just, I don't believe it. So anyway.
Channel and say, hang on a minute.
Because she defeats her arguments constantly. She says it's exact same thing as Zav Girl did. Well, if it's the exact same thing Zav Girl did, why didn't Zav Girl just cut that part out and put it on behind Patreon? If the majority of people agree with your positions, why is like everyone not in true crime would immediately say that's horrible what you just did? Why is it that you lost 5,000 subs? Why did most of the true crime community just basically say what Zav Girl did was fucked up? It's because it was fucked up, It was a step too far, and you messed up. And instead of taking accountability and maybe being like the voice of reason to your girlfriend and saying, hey, you know, you kind of fucked up here. You fucked up here, and you might want to apologize, and you might want to do better. You were enabling her to continue her shitty behavior.
Guys, this is getting blown out of proportion a little bit. They chose to hand out pitchforks and pretend they think that what she did is this atrocious, inconceivable abomination.
Yes, it was.
They chose to rile up their viewers in order to get clicks and make money.
How was it riling up your viewers when you basically tell them Zav Girl took the autopsy photos, put the coroner's voice over it, did a close-up of the body in the video and the photos, and did like little subtitle things and put it behind a $3 Patreon? I just need to tell people that, and they just think that's fucked up. How am I riling them up? For pitch and for money. Of course, we're for the money. Okay, everyone who commented, I don't make any money, so it's not me. But everyone that commented on this or had a feeling about this was for the money. But it wasn't them who was for the money, who was advertising how they spent all this money on the documents and they put it behind a $3 paywall. Make that make sense.
They chose to lie to you, their audience.
How did they lie to you? Tell us, how did they lie to us? The only thing you basically stated that I could not confirm was a genitalia. I did not say that.
Yeah.
In order to make money at someone else's expense. And real quick, personal note from me to you, having nothing to do with this actual.
And it's very interesting because it's not something that most people, like, no one's going to be able to refute that, because no one's going to fucking go in there, grab the autopsy photos, and do a side-by-side comparison of the other video, because they would be psychotic if they did that. Mm-hmm. So,
situation, it's okay to not be okay with someone intentionally deceiving you. Just FYI. Well,
was that a Freudian slip?
Wait, what? Wait, that doesn't even make sense.
And real quick, personal note from me to you, having nothing to do with this actual situation.
You're dating the person that is in the situation, so
and you're defending the person.
So you have a lot to do with the situation. But okay, we'll take your advice. We'll see what your advice is.
And real quick, personal note from me to you, having nothing to do with this actual situation. It's okay to not be okay with someone intentionally deceiving you.
My head hurts.
I don't understand.
And real quick, personal note from me to you, having nothing to do with this actual situation. It's okay to not be okay with someone intentionally deceiving you.
It's okay not to be okay with someone intentionally deceiving you.
So you're saying it's okay for us to be mad if we're deceived?
Or not to be mad. Actually, to not be mad at being deceived.
What does this have to do?
Can the chat just explain this to me? Because maybe I'm having a slow day.
I'm not poetic at all. And, I don't what was... Am I having a stroke? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't even understand her point. Because it was blurred out for a reason. Yeah, it was blurred out.
Yeah. Just FYI. Well, that about wraps it up.
Okay.
I hope this clears things up for some of you that may have been...
It really didn't clear up.
It didn't fucking do fuck
confused, or maybe you heard about what was going on and you got that feeling like, something's off about this. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching. Be nice to each other.
Just like how you were nice to all your criticism and how you just called them like trolls and terrible people and people that don't stress.
People benefit of the doubt.
You haven't given us a benefit of doubt.
And know that the internet is a crazy place.
Agreed. This is probably like the second time I agreed with her. Yes, the internet is a fucking nut job place. Yes, I agree.
All right, this is the end of the video. Feel free to click on something else.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm actually going to stay on for another like 60 seconds because I want to try to predict the comments that I'm going to get on this. But,
Are you just thinking this long enough to double monetize it?
Oh, God. She made it exactly 20 minutes. He's going to stay off for an minute and just like, okay, let's listen. We got to listen to this part.
We got to, okay.
All right. Let's see. I'm definitely going to get like, something like, no wonder you only have however many subscribers I have. That's going to be like the first one.
Okay, we'll see if that actually have it. No wonder you only have... Okay, let me just do the comments. Nope. No one said that.
I'm just gonna say this totally off topic. I hate that your YouTube is not on dark mode.
Well, I like it on light mode.
I know. That's why I'm not gonna pick on you, but I'm just gonna say I hate it.
Yeah, a lot of people like it.
That's how they measure someone's worth. Is how many subscribers they have. So they think they're really getting you, you know. Good to know you're just as messed up as your girlfriend. You two make a great couple with the vomiting emoji.
I don't give a fuck.
Someone's gonna say something
if
that's
you
just they're
read.
still just clinging on being angry at her and it doesn't make any sense. So they'll be like,
Are you trying to be clever?
like she charged $3.
This is going to go on for another
I know.
minute.
She's double monetizing it, isn't it? Every
For her
10 minutes
Patreon.
you can be monetized.
Yeah.
Membership when she could have easily charged $2. Disgusting. That's gonna be one of them.
This is her
I
downplaying.
can't
it.
believe you saying
For
show
her to
two
be
was
like
on
later. This is what she's doing. She's playing this game right now to be like, see, I told you so. I told you so. But the thing is, though, you're already saying things that have already been said.
video
Oh, God.
like this. Die.
Well, I don't want anybody to die.
I don't want anyone to die, ma'am. I just think your
that's
points are
drama.
terrible.
That was horrible. That was just drama. Just, God.
And I think I was pretty calm. I didn't curse at her or anything. I was pretty just reacting to her points. But anyway.
How can you laugh when
Oh, here we go.
I don't even finish reading those. I hope you and your girlfriend get hit by a Mack truck.
No, I don't
buried
hope
in a
that.
pet cemetery.
Oh, I don't hope that either. I do think
she's
you're.
got some
I do
dark
think you're a little crazy for laughing at the subject. Because when you laugh at a subject, it means this subject. This is so stupid. I shouldn't even be talking about this, but I'm gonna talk about this because she's my girlfriend, and I have to make my point. Stop it. Oh,
All right,
and
let's see. Did she make another video? No.
she probably is now.
I mean, this was 6 days ago. She got like 1,700 views. Okay, so it popped off. Let's see.
Could she use Zav Girl's name? That's why.
You know, she's getting a little bit positive, some positive people. Let me see.
Well,
Or
you
she
gotta
might have just
think.
deleted all the negative. Or they're basically probably only her Zav Girl fans.
Do you
would have
think
done that.
maybe that's what's going on? Is that they're deleting negative comments?
Probably.
It could be. That's just a speculation. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying my opinion is they seem like the type of people who do that.
Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, let's just say 1,700 people loved her video. I would say a hell of a lot more people did not like her video. Let's just say that much. But anyway, what's your thoughts on it?
I think I said enough of my thoughts to, reacting to the video. I think she thought she was doing something with this video. She thought she was being clever. You're not being clever. You're basically saying this is okay. That what she did was okay. And I'm sorry, I watch a lot of true crime, and Zav Girl she's a part of the community, but she's not what I consider true crime, like Stephanie Howell. Or I can't remember all their names, or Georgia, people who actually sit there and talk about a case in details. They don't show autopsy photos. Like, that's true crime to me, or Unseen. Unseen's very good. This is a whole branch off of the true crime channels. It's more of a commentary true crime. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between true crime, Stephanie Howell, and then there's a difference between what Zav Girl does, which is basically a reaction commentary of true crime.
Well, she does something shocking. She does something really unoriginal. If she really wanted to basically, this woman's points were all fucking defunct. There was one. Hi, Jen. There was not one point that she made. She even destroyed her own arguments when she stated that the photos are the same that was on the screen. That what Zav Girl did was the same as what was in the trial. Then why did you not just cut the clip from the autopsy person talking to? What, so people can get a closer look at the body? I can tell you this. I would say almost every single person I ever talked to would say no, they would not want to see that up close.
Yeah.
For educational purposes, you could have just taken that snippet out of the trial and put it on a short video. What I believe what she did was, I think she basically wanted to create content I think she didn't care about how she created that content, and she wanted something that and she's so, I don't know, desensitized to shit that she actually believes that she didn't do anything wrong. She got mad at everyone else for the criticism, and she still doesn't believe she did anything wrong. She just thinks
Oh.
that people were just coming at her.
Oh, Glory says Zav Girl did not watch the trial. That's her words, not mine. See, I don't know for a fact, but I would.
Zav Girl did not watch the trial?
Yeah, I was
Are you-
about to say I would hope she watched the trial.
Oh my god!
Is that one of the excuses she uses? Like, well, I don't know what they both did.
Then how are you going to make an argument that it's the same thing as in the trial if you didn't watch the trial?
Oh, even Jen saying no, she didn't. See, that's horrible. I bet you she watched the trial to see the autopsy photos only, so she can make an argument that what
She
she
probably
did was,
didn't. She probably didn't. She probably had someone like Maud say it or something. I don't know. Say it.
I don't
Just
know.
so
It's so
crazy.
weird.
Like I could think of two ways she could have handled it, and she just didn't. She did it every single possible wrong way. And instead of taking accountability and saying, "Yeah, I fucked up, man. I should not. I fucking was too close. I was too much into true crime, and I fucked up, and I didn't think about the family when I was doing this content. And guys, I'm sorry, and I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that shit anymore. You know, this is, that shit. I the community has spoken, and they don't want us to do things like that." She's like, "Wow, most people said it was okay, and now it's
deflecting. Yeah,
it's all your fault because you're all just after the money and drama, and you just want the cause money and drama." Ma'am, no offense, Ab, I'm going to tell you this much. No one gives a fuck about you. Like, really, I did not want to make a video about you. You're kind of fucking terrible, like, when it comes to, like, a lot of your content. Most of the time, it's like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? It's like, no, if I want to watch, what do you guys think? I would
watch the trial and stuff on my own.
Trial. I would watch you. I don't think you are going to
your microphone.
I don't think you are going to be better than the trial. But yeah, she's just in it for the money, in my opinion.
It was a money thing.
Yeah, and I think her girlfriend's doing like damage control.
I mean, which I will say too, it is your girlfriend. She's gonna try to protect you. I get it, but I'm really hoping behind the scenes that she's like, you fucked up. Like somebody has to be real with her and be like, we just don't post pictures of dead kids on the internet. Like that's not how we do things. Like that's definitely not what we should be doing. It's simple as that. It's really simple as that. Do not put dead kids on the internet like that. Autopsy photos. Don't do it. It's
I would think. Oh, how you doing, William Alice? Anyway, that's pretty much it. We're done.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, thank you all for watching and rewatching. I appreciate it.
We're going to stay for 1 minute in me silence, just contemplating what's going to be in the comments, just like that lady. What do you think will be in the comments, Tony?
Well, Grandma already said I was handsome today, so that made my day.
That might be in the comments, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that should definitely be in the comments. Tony's handsome today.
I'm adorable.
We're gonna do exactly like that lady did, that AF Julia person. What else do you think? Chat. What do you think is going to be in the comments?
There's gonna be a lot of people who disagree with us, and that's just wrong. You should never disagree with us because we're always right. And your opinion does not matter.
Hearts might be in the comments. Yeah,
I'm adorable.
You're adorable. Okay, fantastic. We just figured out what was in the comments. Okay, guys, we're ending it now.
Yes, thank you all for watching, and people who are rewatching. We appreciate you. And, you guys have a good rest of your week. We should be back, knock on wood, we should be back on Thursday around the same time. And really, y'all just be safe out there, okay?
All right, guys, you have a good one. Bye.
Later.